1.5 hands in how much terrain is actively playable, and it makes it even less when you then have a team like Third on 5 who, smartly so, is spreading out this wide. They know we need to have a place to fall back to because we only have 3-4 spots in the entire center of this circle. If we claim all early and just keep falling back, we know exactly who's coming in from where.
Yeah, a lot of dangerous moments here early game as we see New Happy leaving Los Leones, one of the many teams on the south side, Toby, that I imagine will be rotating in from that south side, from that Impala side.
Yep.
We'll have to see if they run into each other as we check in with Sonics. They coming in on the western side after leading up into Hacienda. They actually have a pretty free and clear path to where they went in the last game, which was just right in that valley, that El Azahar Valley.
And that's another prediction, foreshadowing, call it what you want. We can already now start to set up because of the limited rotation opportunities, we're creating these bottlenecks. And I think the eastern shore is definitely going to be one of them in and around Impala, just north there.
Tes.
What we're seeing here could be many more teams to follow us. Page creeps
on nonton konten 4 versus 5 mas,
Oh, Ross had spotted out
aman aja bang.
from range and immediately into the Bronco. Page a little bit closer than the rest of the boys.
Pikan kita guys, Danawa 17.
Immediately out of there. So as you mentioned, T5 taking up a lot of real estate. But again, you can do that and you can get away with it, but you have to be ready to exfil as soon as you see trouble.
Have that fire escape
Masih
ready.
ada
Make sure that car is parked in the exact right spot for the exact
4 match, 5 match ya jatuhnya ya.
Luckily for us,
14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 5 match lagi ya. Kita agak early sekarang. Kemarin kita ketinggalan 2 match. Sekarang hanya ketinggalan 1 match walaupun tadi gua nonton sih sebenarnya.
In a little bit of a split, they're going to take a
Nobar bang, Nobar Yus.
Phase, maybe Sonics and just a bunch
Emang
of
Mas Yus mau nobar juga pertanyaannya.
Phase making their way up. Etamu bleeding out in the distance. I think
kalau mau nobar juga, saya pindah Discord nih.
Might actually just be dead,
yeah. Is LZ turning around?
Tapi kalau cuma basa-basi, nonton aja berarti bagus. Apakah Danawa bakal up? Harapannya sih seperti itu ya.
It's a guaranteed phase knock that is now getting confirmed by Correx as well. Look at the amount of info they get off of this position. Yes, Third on 5 is shooting towards him, but with this position they're now in, they have all the info on where to go next.
So Fex is the one that doinked him. I want to see that replay because I'm pretty sure when that knock came through, Phase was still rotating in from the high side.
OP makin kesini makin bagus aja, amin.
All the way downtown. Dirty stuff from Fex, and now Phase, they have a nice little spot. Not the most northern team, but they've got a free path into El Azahar if this circle does decide to hard shift off to the north. Check in with Petrichor Road on the very southern road. They've got Gen G just off to their north.
Saya dukung Danawa karena saya pick. Kalau nggak di pick sih saya dukung yang lain lagi ya. Mungkin twist kalau gue pick gue dukung terus ini. Anaknya karabitan.
If we can hit this circle by the time the new one pops, and then either one, I mean, obviously react to where that circle goes, that's the perfect play, because then we'll have all the other teams in cars too. No one's going to be sat there ready and waiting for push to come through.
Tresna, makasih sudah rejoin membership.
It's just nothing but teams just centered up and playing around those roads that lead in from the south here. Now Sonics is going to find an angle. Gustav will get taken down. The flush won't be able to come out. Fortunately,
sudah menjadi kaum menengah sekarang guys ya, Bang Sonic nih. Sudah ke papan tengah. Apakah panas di akhir? Nah, ini yang kita nggak tahu ya. Jadi rame-rame kah malam ini? Saya cek dulu yang follow up malam ini siapa aja. Venil, makasih 18 bulannya. Yang follow up malam ini baru 8 orang. Katanya sih Cakcop, Rijal juga join, cuman belum ngisi nih. Kalau mereka ngisi berarti 10 ya kan. Kita lihat aja sampai nanti malam, karena kita kan masih on stream ya kan. Paling nanti off streamnya buat jeda doang guys, atau jeda makan nanti ya. Tapi jeda makan sih sih bisa pas sambil nobar
What are
sih
they
gua.
planning to do from here? They are starting to group up. Gustav Correxi are here as well.
Yus
Gene
ini mode
still
pure
has
ternyata
yet
guys,
to group up
nyuruh
with the
doang
team. You
ini.
can see he's stuck on the other side of the road. And I think this is
Kalau
Sonic's
nobar
calling it
tuh
quit.
main
They're
tuh
getting back.
AP
They still
lagi
have
Yus
the
habis
compound to
ini
work
Yus.
with. There was no one behind them. This would be a smart
Yus gawe
time
Yus
for
nggak sih
Sonic
ini?
to try and disengage.
I think that's
Main
exactly what
HP
they were doing.
mulu
They had
Yus,
Kickstart
gawe Yus.
holding the line from well off in the distance. Now each one
Masa
of them
istirahat?
no Patapong. He finds an angle onto the
Patapong.
IGL from Sonic, so that might put a
Ini dia
pause on
tipe
things.
kita yang
Looks like FaZe,
terjerembab
though,
ke papan bawah
fortunately
adik-adik.
for Sonics, they're pulling back away, and LG actually taking shots at him from
satu
north
hit,
of
dua
the
hit.
city of El Azahar. So this fight,
Gitu guys caranya.
it looked like it was about to turn into something, Toby, but now the
Last
third
day
party,
iya,
fourth
ini
party,
penentuan guys.
they're going to force him to pull apart.
Hilltops are amazing. From there, you can see absolutely
Pikan
everything.
kita
Downside
Danawa
is absolutely everything. You can see
17, NH, SQ,
you can
Tian
see
sama
the tools now
T-Pipe
from the
guys ya.
final western side too,
T-Pipe.
finding a couple of
T5
shots.
nih.
Good thing for Sonics is as they disengage, while it might not have been the prettiest disengage, they keep all four alive.
Sementara
shaking their
NH,
vehicles for rotations
Sonic,
to come,
Tian ini
and they
peringkat
still have a
789
perimeter.
ya.
They still have space to maneuver.
Di
Now, Twisted
bawah
Minds does get a bit closer,
T5
but FaZe don't have to
12.
engage.
Kaum
LG
atas
don't
Danawa
engage
sama
in
17
there. So,
nih.
despite
Atas
everything
bawah,
that just went
nih
against
ya.
them, it actually played
Gue
out all right.
berharap salah
At
satunya
least for
naik
now.
sih.
As LG, they make their way through the city. Danawa
Baru
has
habis
now
servis
arrived.
PC katanya.
They're playing on the
Yus.
north side of that
Servis
that El
PC.
Azahar Valley.
PC lu bejat
And
apa gimana
Petrichor
ya?
Road, they finally
Pasti gara-gara
enter in the
sering-sering
south side of the circle. Now they
ngemot-ngemot nih.
trade in a big wide split
Nggak
just
baik,
to the
Yus.
east of Impala. We'll have to keep an eye
Kalau
on
kata Mas
that.
Indun
Danawa,
itu
nobody really
ngerusak
near
PC, Yus.
them except for LG. Where are we going? And we pull away
Bocil
from the
Pekan
city
Batu tumben
back
nggak live,
over
Mas.
towards the coast.
Gua lagi di
And
Discord
once
mereka nih.
again, Toby, about 40% of this circle just
Beat.
completely unplayable.
Oh, Beat.
Brutal phase 2, and what a time to get it in the final
Beat.
Nirma of the year
Yeah,
in
but
competitive PUBG. As we now see
Kenapa
Petrichor
nggak
try
lab?
to make their way
Morbid-
forward. We
morbid
saw them
ini.
on the southern side earlier. We knew that they were going to take their time, rotate in late, but here they are with day trade right around them, and the Cowboy fight starts
Kedengeran
happening
ya lagi perang.
again.
Play it from the beach, I guess, is the play here as Belmoth does manage to split the uprights, gets back to the boys, and stays alive as Petrichor Road continue their wrap up to the north. They've got December 12th and the rest of New Happy in the compound
Lagi
on
depan,
the
guys.
side of the road.
Si
This is
Kamsa-Kamsa
slow
ini.
sledding here for
Fight Cup.
Petrichor Road. This is rough terrain to be having to drive these Morados over.
I'm seeing Roth just in front of them starting to creep down this ridge line towards
Apa
the
nunggu
water.
match
as well.
kelima
Maybe
hari
trying
ini
to
dia?
set up for an ambush. The
Baru
issue is
live
they tried
streaming.
to do this exact same thing last game against Daytrade and got punished. Now it's just him
Tapi dia
against
udah
what
live
will
tadi.
be the entirety of Petrichor. Roth, oh Roth, do not get out of that car and do not start shooting because Petrichor will pull up if you give them a reason to believe you're just one guy
Hari ini
there. You
kayaknya
can see he's already turning
Jiko ini
around,
gede
going
deh, guys.
away. Thank you, Roth. Go back to that
5.000
compound.
juga sih,
You have circle center.
100.000
Don't risk it.
Waduh.
And it looks like they're going to pull
Asik juga
Pixel
tuh.
as well, and they're just going to
Ya.
play as 4 from
Masuk
compound
channel.
as dead
Logikanya
center.
sih minimal
Orang
goceng ya
From
kan.
SSG.
Oh, yeah.
Don't get too greedy. There's no
10.000
reason
lah,
to.
masa nggak
There's
naik
still 63 players
Harusnya
alive
kira-kira
here,
tiap
and
match
there's
nggak
not
sih?
a lot of real estate to be
Waduh,
had.
tiap match.
Sonics, meanwhile, after their
Kapan
fight with
dapat?
FaZe, starting to
Iya,
make their way
20
down
juta,
Twisted
bos.
Minds just ahead of them.
3.000,
And you can see them
3.000,
scouting it out, looking to see where they want to go next.
Bener sih.
This
Kali
next
6
circle, I mean,
match
again,
ya
the
kan.
next one could still include water. We are not out of the water run just yet. We are hoping, of course, that we're going to go back on land. Because if we
Asik
still
juga,
include water,
Coach.
it's going to be absolutely brutal. Danawa, as the
Balik lagi
furthest
modal
north
dia
team
kalau
just a
orang
couple
beli
of seconds
pas.
ago, now looking to become the furthest southern team. They
Balik,
out to go
balik.
all the way through Minas, all the way south around, and again, taking their time. Again, they know what's at stake here, and they honestly, if
Kita
they
kan
broke,
dapat
don't
key
fix it.
point
These
dari dia kan,
rotations have
kita
been
belajar
very
lagi.
good for Danawa throughout
Betul.
this tournament. So smart.
Di dia
They're
juga.
trying to play this one a bit
Iya,
slow.
di dia
I'm
juga
telling
bentar.
you, the reads from Danawa on how the edge is most likely going to be available, that you can get away with these super long wraps. It's been absolutely brilliant as Loki kind of left behind on the ridge of the Alcantara is able to kind of spot out a little
Mr.Okto Cup.
next movement place for them in the south side, so they know they have it for free. Meanwhile, Theraton 5. Vex and FaZe right on their doorstep. The grenade coming out from Patapong, not going to find anything. And I don't know if they realize that
mungkin nggak tahu ya
Gustav
kan,
Jean's
drop.
already in their back line, but Patapong in a perfect place to do a
sayang
little
sekali
backstab, and the spray
Patapong.
comes through. Immediate shots in return. FaZe keeps everybody alive, but now the push comes in from
Ya
the other side.
ampun, Patapong
Patapong
bau
will go
dah.
down, but Hatsawat will find Gustav. The knock, the flush comes in immediately, and now Hatsawat Thanadol, the last two players alive. He's spotted out
Ay,
James on the hard cover. 18 HP HP for Hatsuwan, not gonna be enough.
Crucial note from teams there. It's great having an anchor player on this
Makin ke bawah Bang
It's not
Tipep.
gonna be too much help. Luckily for them, Correction and James working together finds the rest. Yes, they lose good stuff, but a center position claim. A team taken out with now plenty of space.
Itu kalau kena minimal satu aja.
Harusnya
rata
back
dong.
on the high ground again. Let's see this next circle. How brutal PUBG are you gonna be?
Sayang sekali.
Not as brutal as it could have been.
Oh, Bang Ben! Absen gak sih Bang Ben? Main kita. Apa lu udah balik ya?
They're taking shots twisted. Maybe I
Nah.
guess didn't like the spot
Main
that they
Epil
were in.
nggak
I
sih,
don't
Bang
know if
Ben?
they spotted out Cerberus, that the shots were coming in already,
Ya kan?
but they're pushing right in between now. SSG has an
Ging
angle.
drop.
Sharp shot
Ah,
will
mampus
find
twist.
Macleod.
Nah, tusun lah.
By Page, Sharp shot still has an angle on
Ini
all
twist
this.
pikan siapa,
Hasaki
guys?
has it as well. Twisted
Nggak ada,
Mind
mati
is
aja,
a
anjing.
hurt right now.
Lepas ini.
It was Danawa in the previous game that took casualties, and now it's Twisted
Bang,
Minds, and once
tusun
they
lah.
saw that a first place team is under fire, 3-4
Nice
teams
chess, nice chess.
instantly looked in this direction. Look at this Cerberus running out into the
Baru
open. They
sadar
want
gue
to claim
chess
these kills.
udah
They want to
peringkat
take
6 ya?
out Twisted Minds before they can get anything going this game.
Perfectic's going to go for the res on the Spiro. The grenades from Hisaki going a little bit long here. They managed to flush the knock. But now Space Station involved as well, but neither Cerberus nor Space Station wants to fully commit into pushing into that smoke cloud just yet. They still got 4 alive. They still got great positions to play inside the circle. That might be the thing that saves Twisted Minds.
And for the Space Station game there as well, you see Sharpshot back off a bit, look towards the north up the hill. He saw how exposed he was.
Ratakan lah. Ya, benteng Takeshi di situ.
Once again, opting to go for the defensive play. Yes, those kills would be great, but for now,
Rangga God, thank you 11 bulannya ya. Oh my god. Internet 0,5 MB. Oke lah Bang. Nonton YouTube aja dah. 480 dulu ya Bang ya. Bang Ben, hati-hati. Jangan 720 takut.
They've still got frag grenades to play with, still got utility, and they did not like their position of just relying on smoke and a couple of portable shields.
Iya, padahal sisa 2 ya.
So they try to take the fight back to Cerberus. Looks like Cerberus will respond in kind.
Timing nih.
Masa
somebody
timing?
coming in from the north side. Meanwhile, LG
Lebih ketakut di TP nggak sih?
here by Petrichor Road on the east.
All the teams starting to make their way further north because we know that the southern mountain is going to get shifted away from it here. Summer is trying to find Rello. Can't connect them. Oh, the final bullet in the chamber takes down Rello.
Rello was swapping seats like a madman during that whole spray, and it almost got away with it. Summer immediately.
Niko, makasih udah join.
Go to Foy, landed right on top of him. Fortunately, LG immediately flood, picks him up and gets him out of harm's way.
Fights happening across the board here. Sonic's pushing down as well. Sharpshot looking for Perfectix. Will find him. That's the one shot dragon up for you.
Timing orang ini kan di backup sama si Berus. Aneh.
And Cerberus actually taking shots towards SSG. They're going
Satu negara kah mereka?
pull away a little bit here, so Perfectix will get flushed out. Spiro now the last player up. Cerberus still hanging out here. They would love to be able to get rid of this last player, and they will. Twisted Minds. No good game going unpunished. They finished first in game 1, out in 15th here in game number 2.
And how will these other teams be able to capitalize as we full swing north? Tyloo wouldn't have it any other way. But look at the teams that now have to fight their way in, and those fights have already started. Iceclip trying to find Snakers, won't be able to do so, but they find the Segel of LG. So if they opt to follow through, they might get even more. As I say, they don't kickstart from a distance. Finds mine instead.
LG thought they were away from the trouble as they managed to avoid Petrichor Road, but they run right into Sonics. And they end up getting taken down. Meanwhile, Sonics and Tiamba on this north side. Tiamba just snuck in behind Sonics. I mean, you saw them taking shots at LG. And now, all of a sudden, just like that, it's down to Kickstart. 77 trying to go for the res in the middle of the smoke. Kickstart still has frag grenades in hand. And I think they may know that somebody's behind him. ZYY just hiding out.
And this all comes down to Petrichor perfectly forcing teams
Just Diva, makasih satu member giftnya ya.
They say, guys, you're doing what we want you to do. Kickstart. Can't quite find side. But it should fall to blue unless it gets a heal up right here, right now. Nope. Goes to blue. Kick will say thank you very much. Try and regroup.
Get the point. Make sure you get the point. As Start back on the move again. 77 has that angle. Doesn't land the headshot, but does do some significant damage with that Dragunov. But as you see on that mini-map, Jeems is creeping. He wants to get over here, and he's going to find 77 right as Ming takes out, or Linshu rather, takes out Kickstart.
1 HP to work with, and Ming from down below will doesn't get the extra point, but look at the amount of space that FaZe Clan just got up towards that northern side. Again, we said there's plenty of space in the circle theoretically, but that's an open hillside, and as long as the Space Station Gaming compound is in, you literally cannot use that at all. That's why we're seeing so many teams in the south, on the western side, trying to creep in. They'll rather try to brawl their way through these ton of teams than playing on the northeast because they know that's suicide.
One of the most veteran players in the lobby, Jeems, he realizes what it takes to win a PGC. You need to go out, you need to risk it to get every single point you can find. And he managed to do so there for FaZe as Petrichor Road trying to make their way past SSG. Meanwhile, 17.
Apa, makasih udah join membership. Uy, lakap.
All the orange teams, didn't it, Tony?
Korean sandwich being
Akhirnya twist to Sun, bro.
being eaten on the southern side. We'll see who comes out victorious. It's Xiao Wu, the first one to fall. Loki finds him, and now they'll go to this place on the eastern side as well.
Baru ngurusin tukang air.
For 17 to collect some points, but Gen G, they're showing up in a big way here in the final day of play as they finished in second place last game, and now they're 4 live, and they are putting a spanner in the works here for 17. Xiaobei, Suju, the last 2 up for that squad. Donawa, meanwhile, coming in from the northwest. They have to be worried about that. Salute is going to find Suju, and now it's down to just Xiaobei. The circle will shift north, and all of this will have to come to a head.
And yet again, a brutal shift with limited
Day
nothing
trade lah.
you can work with.
Biar tusun dia. Gua kan kalau nge-pick suka tusun bit.
They probably all know is a sub-5 placement point game. As we now see Danawa trying to make the
in
replicate,
day
have to
trade.
make a play, and this play starts with
Pasti
Soul
tusun
finding
nih.
Esther.
Yakin gua.
Danawa need to light things up here if they want to catch up to Twisted Minds.
Dan gol nih.
Xiaobei
Wajib dipilih apa enggak nih Bang Pal?
before Xiaobei peeks down, but he's going to feed that information over to Salute.
Itu nggak dipilih, putus juga
The
deh.
grenade falls just short, and Nox will finish out Xiaobei. And now 17 out early
17
once
drop.
again.
Huge sweep from Danawa started here, and crucial that Soul peeks on over and spot Xiaobei. He was stood there with Panzerfaust in hand. If they're not ready, they are just seconds away from dying there. But great call.
Sedulur ngebis, makasih udah join.
To get the one confirmed.
Lama kali game 5 nih.
Road into this next zone for both squads here, Danawa and Gen G, as they have New Happy and Day Trade both staring down. Pio is going to get spotted out by
Lagi on pire banget nih, Dek.
Still more fights even on the northwestern side as Tai Lu and Veronica 7 are squaring off.
Yeah, few mistakes been made there from Gen G. Pio is isolated on that island. They cannot allow for this to happen. Now both Chong Yang has the falls as well. Gen G had an angle to play, but with Pio falling down, they completely fall apart.
And they've got one player left, DG98 hiding out in the blue. Danawa trying to open up a little bit of a door here, but they've got to take attention towards Day Trade and New Happy. No knocks coming through just yet onto Danawa. They've managed to play the terrain about as well as you can. They've got smokes laid down, but Day Trade, look at how through they have to work with. Now, fortunately, New Happy finally finds an angle onto them, so that might force Day Trade to just pull off of this, and that might open a door here for Danawa to make their way in.
Reposition, play the long game here. You know that every time you peek towards Danawa, shots are going to be coming in from the other side, so let these two teams fight on the southern side, which is exactly what we're going to see now. Loki, headshot, body shot connected. That's CC down.
You want to be the GOAT, you got to earn it. Loki doing the most right now for Danawa. As they find that knock, they try to open up some room for themselves here to make their way into the zone. New Happy, December 12th, going to try to go for the res. Onto the rock, Loki continues to spray it down. Still looking off into the distance. Now they see DG98 has gone. They know they don't have to worry about a snake biting them from the blue. But look at this down, Toby. SSG now starting to creep down as well.
And they have to make this play. I love the aggression coming out from SSG now. Go down, force this fight between New Happy and Danawa. Do not allow them to reset as they come on through. Ming is going to peek on over, but he's going to find a lot of opponents on the other side. Finds one with an 8 though.
Immediate 2 knots on the Loki, and Onyx is going to go down as well. New Happy turning up in a big way. The smoke keeping Salute alive. Can he find any more success as he plays around the edge? Ming creeping, looking for any shadow. Will finish off in Onyx. Salute managing to get the heal off. Gets the flashbang down. Creeps around the edge. Works the edge of the smoke. Beautifully finds Ming Ming. Salute somehow, someone still alive for Unable to make a hero play.
Juga anjing bertiga di atas, ya Allah.
Absolutely clutch, but what a valiant effort from Salute to try and make something happen.
Boleh lah, ngepin naik lah.
Slowed them down, but in the end, Nan with just 5 HP, able to stay alive.
Unfortunately for them, they were pushing over those ridge lines to get right into the face of Donald, and it actually took them out of the line of sight of SSG. So SSG now pushing their way
Karena
forward.
dia
You see them get the
harusnya bau beat.
Meanwhile,
Kan.
Veronica 7, they cleaned up that fight on the northwest. They're down to just Cuban and Tulsi.
Nah,
They've got to make moves in. But here you go, Space Station and Daytrade once again squaring off.
Again, Space Station
Thailand
playing this game incredibly well. They have 5 kills already now. Sharp does fall down. The rest might be possible though. Trying to smoke him off. He is the front man. Nates are coming in to follow.
26, 27.
On the front because he picks the wants to go up.
Dia
Wants to
aja
get
kok
it back on
Thailand.
his feet, but it's a hard committing rest to go for, especially with him, I believe, being 2nd or 3rd knock already.
They got to keep these smokes cycling because
yeah.
there are more grenades. There you go, Belmont will flush out sharp shot, and that makes it a moot point here for SSG as they just retreat back to their compound.
Jadi yang hari ini
Look
10.000.
towards making their way over to the north side of the road. That
5.000
now is
dua
the
kali,
perfect
bro.
time to do it. But Page already over there does
Barusan
spot out
soalnya
Corexy. He's got
400,
James right on his
dapat
doorstep.
dua kali.
New Happy still trying to find their way in from the south side. They
Thailand
spot out
sama
Cerberus,
Latifi.
and they'll take down High
Anjing.
This is an absolutely huge play happening towards the east side here with Page finding Corexy on the back. That is James losing all kind of info. Now he peeks on all the
Ya
flanks. The
Allah,
first James can
Pagi.
do these moments, but
Masih
it's not going to
salah.
happen here. And it all builds off of
Nice,
Page's
nice,
knock
Fazil.
onto
Tusu,
Corexy.
nice,
That is
nice.
you now playing
Turun dia.
in the trenches up front.
Mulai
Nice effort by James,
ininya.
but in the end, SSG just running him over.
Beautiful work there for
Nah,
SSG.
New
They now
Happy.
have 7
Nah,
kills
New
to their
Happy.
name. They'll keep 3 alive.
Pasti
And they've got a
flank-flank manja
lot of
dari New
circle on
Happy.
that north
Nah,
side to
lawan
deal with.
Detroit,
Right
Detroit
now they're
berserak ya kan
positioning
harusnya
themselves
kan.
to do a little gatekeeping.
Oh,
New
kita
Happy with
flank
the blue
balik.
at their
Flank
backs,
lagi.
trying to find a route in here that doesn't put them right under the
Antam
view
dua
of
aja tuh New
Daytrade
Happy,
or
cuma dua
Cerberus.
tuh.
This only happens because
Belmont
SSG
sama
makes the
Flash
right
aja.
plays at the right time. We were crucial, we were critical when we said they had their windows to make plays and couldn't execute them in prior games.
Tim Indo,
Here, they've done it so
MPRX.
well so far. Would love to see them be able to bring it home.
Veronica 7,
Sama
meanwhile, still have
Persija
2
Evos,
alive.
Bang.
They are far,
Yeah.
far north of this, though. As you can see, Daytrade just waiting to hear the footsteps. The smokes getting laid down, getting cycled beautifully by New Happy.
Ih, palanya
No
dong
gaps to be
kelihatan.
found just yet, although it looked like Belmont may have spotted
Dua
out.
orang untuk satu squad ya,
Ming
ngeri
just
banget
on
deh
the
trade.
edge.
Cowok terbakar
Now he's
sendiri,
gonna spot out
cowok.
Non, takes the shot, doesn't get the knock though. CC 108 shoots the volley right
Kebakar
over
lu,
the
Bang.
head as Belmont goes
ditolongin
down,
siapa sih?
but Roth will
Yuh,
trade it
SSG
down on the
anjing,
CC 108. Pixel will finish it off, and now Flash going down as
Nice,
well.
mati
Ming
deh
Ming
trade-nya, sisa
down to
2.
about 5 HP. Non has some hard cover to work with here. Daytrade, the
Ui,
last players
Uci
alive, will
ukap.
turn their attention over to Cerberus as they make their
Seven
way in
dong
from
ini
the west.
chicken.
They need to support,
Iya.
they need to hold them
Dia
off, and
sendiri
right now
dia.
they're doing a great job at just that high.
Oh,
Sagi
hidup itu
Salonsi,
Tosi
the
harusnya.
last 2 players alive for
Jadi
Cerberus,
itu.
trying to make their way in. The 4 out of the top 5 are out. Cerberus know this is their chance to climb, but Daytrade, it's not giving them any ground to claim.
Nurin's a
Sampai habis
beautiful
monsternya
spray.
dia
2
narik.
alive now for Daytrade. Still alive, still inside the zone.
Sampai dulunya pun
SSG,
habis,
meanwhile, spread out. They
Iya,
crossed
49
back
jam.
over to the
Tambah
southern
dua
side
aja.
of the street to try to find an
Iya.
angle. It wasn't there, though. New Happy, they've got Ming Ming, they've got Nan, but they've got to make their way
SSG
across
jangan
this
kamu
road. You
chicken.
got to wonder
Kasihan
how much
hati
utility
dulu,
they've
bos.
got left in the tank.
This is the most dynamic I've seen SSG throughout this entire tournament.
Aduh,
Again,
Enhard
knowing where the
nyebrang
pressure
lagi,
is
Cok.
building up from, trying to force teams in the direction you want to force them into, and
Pelonnya
really
banyak
set
banget.
yourself up for a great
Guys,
end
Daytrade.
game. Incredible plays coming out, but we'll see an argument.
Pertama kali gue ngeliat pelot 295
Can he
nih.
find Salolsi?
Fishing
Ngelut,
with dynamite
karena nggak ada
right
util
now.
habis
Human
itu.
will find some damage onto Sololzi, but won't get the knock. Human, the last player up for Veronica 7 Fun Pin, has some hard cover to work
Ron aja
with,
lagi
but he
Human.
does know that he's got company right behind him. Meanwhile, Nurin's Pushil's still on the south side, or the north side of the road, rather, south side of the zone. They know they've got New Happy behind them, and they've got SSG wide split, as you said. SSG actual hunters right now. 8 kills so
SSG
far.
harusnya
Roth with
SSG
4
Mas.
of them.
Lah,
as they
SSG
try
kan
to
bawahannya
turn their
SSG.
attention back over towards New Happy.
SSA, SSB, SSJ, SSD, SSE, banyak dah sampai Z.
Sit back down and continuing to try and do damage from a distance. A little bit of damage comes in return though. And again, New Happy, they have to make something happen. They need more damage to make a run up.
Bisa lewat
Instantly there. As they continue to
angkaranan.
keep their heads on a swivel. But having said that, Nan has made it over.
New Happy just finding
Asik pula
all
gaya
types of
putar
utility
pos saja cuman ya.
where there would seem to be none. Still have a few smokes left that they can use, but you gotta wonder how much longer
Nannya udah
those
naik.
smokes will keep them
Apakah
alive.
Ming Ming
Ming
berhasil
still hasn't
nyebrang?
crossed the road just yet.
Tidak
Daytrade looking over in that
sepertinya.
direction, but they haven't found an angle just yet. Meanwhile, every other angle in this lobby, in this circle, seems to be covered by SSG. They just gotta be careful. You don't want to take a knock here.
There's one more circle left to pop, and it's going to happen in just 4 segments. Ming Ming is
SSG
hoping
susah
for the
squad
southern
global,
edge. If he knows
betul.
he's going to have to cross the road
Betul lagi.
eventually, but doesn't want to go until he absolutely has. So this one is a donut, though, right down the middle. We are ending in the middle of this crossroads. Solos to the northwest.
Nan, tahan di
Team ups
sana,
on the
Nan, jangan sampai
southeast.
kena
This
Nan.
one is practically impossible to call at this moment.
Not much
Gila,
utility
cepat
left
Ming
for
lewat nih.
Daytrade as now Page will spot out
Gila,
Norns
penuh
with that
satu
dragon
Daytrade.
off. Won't be able to get the flush just yet though, as you can see the terrain just so rocky and so many valleys and dips and divots here that people can hide
Asik nih
behind.
tempat.
It's the only reason that we've made it to 28
Matilah
minutes with
kalian
9
nge-push
still alive. Non
NH
right
nih,
on the
SSG.
doorstep of SSG. You gotta hope that SSG did not forget about that solo player
Exactly.
from New Happy.
Nah,
Managed to
dia
make it
dapat
across the
gimana
road.
nih,
Right
Fish?
now, Nan is proning, waiting, hoping that Ming Ming somehow manages to cross on over. He needs the help from the team, but the thing is, if Ming Ming
Di
finds
Pep
a knock
berserak tadi sama
onto
Paji.
Space Station Gaming, they know that's going to be a 1v2, but Nan has to try and make a play off of it. Issue on the
Bangke
other side
banget.
is that Daytrade is still looming on their southern side, and Ming Ming is well aware of it.
Norns not
Anjing.
rest just yet. There you go, Page will spot him out.
Dan ini
Pixel riding the BMX, baby. You don't get to see it very often, but this is a pretty good time to use it if there ever was one. Non will finally peek up, try to get involved now that Ming Ming
Nan,
has
jangan
joined
sampai
him,
kenok,
has
Nan.
managed to make his way across the road. Pushus couldn't
Masa nih.
hold him at
Ui.
bay. And now SSG just using whatever utility they have left. Pushil's backfilling New Happy, not taking shots
Gimana
just
lagi
yet.
ente kayak
But I mean, this is tough here for Space Station. You can see just no more utility offensive in the bag. Sololzi, though, will find Non, and Page will get the flush, and now Ming Ming will get tracked down by Roth. As SSG clears up.
tidak.
Their biggest rival, you would think, in this final zone.
They
Beda
knew
lagi
that if
nih,
we just
beda
keep
lagi.
them down there for long enough, eventually a team will peek over. Eventually a team will shoot
Oke,
them
kalau
in the
gini
back.
ceritanya
They
gua
managed
dukung
just one
Daytrade
bullet
beneran.
fired to get control.
Nggak ngaruh soalnya kalau
Take
naik.
it down now as well as 2 solos. Try and see if they can bring
Ya
it home
Allah. Jadi
against
naik-naik.
Space Station Gaming.
Uci
Sololzi
bukannya
donated
tadi
his point over to
nggak
the
punya
blue. You
ini
gotta
ya?
imagine Pushil's probably
Nggak punya pelor ya?
thinking the same thing. Space Station wrapping around here, trying to spot out
Norin,
Human.
Norin.
Oh, Norin.
11 kills now
Oh
for
iya, benar. Puci
SSG.
pakai
This could be the start of something great here, as there's still 4 more games remaining. Human, he's not going down without a fight. You can see he has got that FAMAS in hand, and he is looking for any excuse to use it.
Space Station Gaming here. They know exactly where they have them now. That's one spotted on the other side.
Drop.
One tap headshot. That's the
Udah
dragon. Up
dikal tuh, Bang Pal.
falls down. They spot the last as well.
Flip
As Human is in the
lock.
open, and Space Station Gaming brings home a phenomenally well
Susah squad
played
global ya.
Miramar game here.
Menang
It
ya.
was dicey at
back-to-back
times,
kitchen lagi.
Toby. It was nerve-wracking at times. But in the end, the trio from Space Station managed to clutch out a beautiful 13-kill win. And fortunately for them, they're able to pick up a lot of those kills at the end, too. None of these solos donating their points over to the blue.
A 30-minute game of PUBG is a string of decisions having to be made, and you have to be right about so
Padahal
many
gua
of
mau
them. You can make
nge-pick
a few
another
mistakes,
team
all
loh
right,
tadi.
but you have to be so smart. Space Station, I feel like, made all the right decisions at the right times
Another team.
throughout this entire match.
And they were playing aggressive at the right times, too. Let's throw it over to the analyst desk to break down that last game.
Kok udah jadi kalian keluar lah dulu.
Diamlah kau.
GG nih anak cabang anjing.
Cepat keluar.
SSG chicken.
Nongkrong.
Kur.
Nongkrong lah cepat please.
Gak nyoba epic roleplay bang tuh belum.
Isi after left server maintenance apa nih? Rondo fun. Battle Pass baru, Rondo. Oke.
Ntar kata anak SSG-nya apaan nih SSG-nya? So asik.
Dapat 5.000 kan
Kena
Bang
gitu.
Pau. Beli Battle Pass Black Market, beli Battle Pass Rondo, ya kan Bang Pau?
Battle Pass sih
Iya,
nomor
Bit.
1 ya sebelum gacha. 2000 atau berapa Bit? Apa 1000?
1.200.
1200. Nah ini nih tipe drop nih. Bisa nih watch party CS2 juga. Allah. Kalau itu harus izin gak sih? Kalau PUBG kan kita udah
Wah,
coy banget ya kan. Apa itu izinnya kan langsung.
Woi.
Watch party
G2 lawan
langsung.
Sprout.
Nah kalau
10-2,
CS
odds
berserak
12
nanti
menang
kita.
Sprout apa?
Belum dipasang.
Enggak. Aku lihat oddsnya 12,4 terakhir. Overtime sekarang nih.
Kalau PUBG yang mobile enggak coy ya, enggak coy. Agak berserak ya kalau yang mobile. Yang PC aman kita ya kan, partnership soalnya kita ya kan. Sudah partner sejak 2017 gitu ya kan. Nah, kalau yang mobile kita tidak partner guys ya, beda itu. Kudu ada izin. Kontrak darah. Lebih ke bromance ya. Udah dulur lah, dulur aja. Pagi juga Gabriel. Halo juga Aldo, selamat datang. Anjing 642 gila. 13 kill deh lumayan lah ya. Meski sudah agak dilupakan ya Mas, lebih ke komunitas Indonya sih yang susah dan sudah ditinggalkan. Jadi ya begitulah. Ya namanya bisnis ya guys ya, realistis lah. Gue mengerti akan hal itu kok PUBG. Aman aja. Tenang, santai, relax ya kan. Aman-aman. Menurut lu ada momen gak Bang To, YouTuber lama bangkitin channel biar rame lagi yang dulunya rame banget? Maksudnya gimana tuh? Bisa aja, bisa iya bisa enggak. Ya semoga kita masuk ke yang itu ya, yang bisa rame kembali, amin. Lebih udah ke temen tongkrongan kalau PUBG PC, betul. Ya ini hari terakhir bang, matchnya juga sisa 4 ya, match 15, 16, 17, 18, 4 match lagi kita. Kalau nggak SSC siapa lagi yang bakal membuat gebrakan buat PUBG Indo? Masa iya? Enggak segitunya sih bang. Banyak kok Discord apa PUBG Indo sebenarnya. Komunitasnya masih ada sih. Cuman viewernya aja memang agak menurun. Bukan agak sih, sudah menurun jauh ya. Replay semalam emang baru up ya To? Tadi mau nonton ulang nggak ada. Hah? Replay semalam itu membership only kan? Apa keblok ya? Kalau nggak ada kemungkinan keblok. Keblok karena copyright guys.
Makan lu Bang Pal, makan lu Bang Pal.
Beat. Oh, gua mute kayaknya. Oh iya, nge-mute. Masih ada kok replay kemarin, masih ada tuh kata Babang, guys. Anjing, CS sore nih. Ye, makasih 555 lenyemennya ya. Malam juga Abang. Ye, ya aja ya, makasih. Bang Yahya sih pasti nih. Takแค่น้อย Enggak ke motion ime, enggak bang. 30.000 EP dapat apa ya? Bisa dapat BP. BP yang 2000 itu guys, bisa dapat apa lagi? Itu aja sih paling. Kunci nggak penting. Nggak ada notifnya aja berarti, soalnya tadi lihat dari notif aja. Oh, dicek lah. Tinggal cek ke apa namanya? Ke channel masing-masing itu guys. Kalian mau nonton siapa, replaynya di mana, membership only apa enggak, bisa langsung dicek. Kemotion Imo pasti bawa anak dan banyak beli jajan. Enggak sih, belum waktunya Kiara ya. Mungkin nanti kalau udah gedean baru. Game The Finest kebetulan gue nggak begitu ngikutin juga sih guys. Jadi kalau ditanya ada dampak apa enggak ke game-game Battle Royale lain sih, jujur nggak tahu jawabannya. Tapi kalau itu gamenya hype banget, kemungkinan ya game yang lain makin surut. Battle Royale lainnya makin surut sih menurut gua. Pada pindah ya kan. Tapi kalau hype-nya bentaran, misalkan dia hype banget nih, tapi kayak bentaran, kemungkinan besar yang Battle Royale lain bisa agak naik juga. Kayak mengingatkan kembali lah, ya enakan PUBG lah, enakan Fortnite lah, enakan inilah. Jadi main lah mereka, balik gitu ya kan. Bisa aja. Battle Royale sosis gimana kabarnya mas? Belum lagi sih itu. Itu hype-nya bentaran juga tuh, nggak lama. Pokoknya nanti malam kita main game ramainya Apple guys ya. Semoga sesuai aplikasi nih. Kebetulan baru 5 orang. 5 orang. Kebetulan baru 8 orang nih. Kalau Cakcop sama Rizal ikut jadi 10. Kalau Macbeth ngisi juga, Macbeth kan kemarin katanya besok aja ya kan. Nah, Macbeth ngisi jadi 11. Kalau Andi Jol ikut jadi 12. Ini Silpo juga belum ngisi. Wah, jadi over lah pokoknya. Pokoknya jadi over banget dah. Semoga sekum. Waduh, kalau sekum bang buset. Beserak bang kalau sekum bang. Orang main bertiga berempat aja masih ribet ya. Ini kalau ramean beban timnya kebanyakan bang. Ngasuh nanti yang ada. Belum ngurusin diri sendiri ya kan. Ya Allah, ini disuruh ngurusin orang lain. Kayaknya nggak bisa guys kalau sekum. Yang susah itu ngurusin beban timnya. Ngasuh anjing kalau di game survival yang intens gitu atau yang rumit ya, yang kompleks, ribet udah nggak kebayang lah, udah nyerah kayaknya dah. Belum mulai aja udah nyerah gua. Morbid udah nggak pernah main bareng, dia menghindar ya bang. Guanya sama dianya ya memang sedang sibuk masing-masing. Gua sering main game yang rame-rame. Terus PUBG gua paling seminggu sekali 2 kali doang. Kalau dia udah ada partiannya masih main dia. Ini gue lagi di Discord Morbid. Main.
Main
guys, main. Play.
Makan bang.
Makan bang.
Of the tournament, but if you're any one team to catch them, now would be the time, because with the way that we're seeing Twisted play right now, they're leaving nothing up to chance. They're playing extremely good.
I will tell you one thing, throughout the years of
Keren Subaton D3
so many players with so much experience, one thing remains certain all the way through. Everybody you ask, it's always easier to be chasing that top spot than to be the one trying to hold on to that top spot. So that might be something that works in Twisted Mind's favor right now.
Anjing, sayur.
Or Donowa's favor rather, as they find themselves chasing down Twisted Minds. It's we'll see what they can do. We see is anybody going to land anywhere close to each other. 17 a little bit close to Patrick.
Itu yang Hayamosa logo tim siapa sih?
Drop for vehicles and
Mosa di mana ya?
SSG bukan?
Way off to the north, but I think Theraton 5
ngambil punya siapa tuh SSG?
Hope so.
Ke serigala bernyanyi.
Just get the hell out of there. There's literally nothing to gain trying to take an early game fight, but as you can see, just splitting the north as a circle will head up here as well. I feel like we've been blessed with a couple of interesting northern circles. Again, anything between
sama rumah kopet.
Rumah kopet. Where New Happy is positioned, that entire mountainside there plays a lot like Stalber. It's a very interesting place to have open hill fights, or Potato Hill more really on Erangel. Open hill with plenty of trees to maneuver around, and again, the interesting thing that kind of throws in a little bit of a curveball is teams don't know still all.
Gak mau variatifin game pas streaming itu kayak UP Brando gitu. Gue lebih suka game yang multiple itu, yang kayak multiplayer gitu. Kok multiple sih? Gue suka yang mabar-mabar. Jadi kayak kalau untuk ngajakin, oke sejam ini, sejam itu, sejam ini kayaknya susah gitu. Itu lebih cocok mainin game yang kasual atau main solo gitu kan. Kalau UP sama Brando gitu ya, jenis-jenis gamenya. Bukan jenis gamenya sih, jenis streamingnya ya, lebih tepatnya. Gue bisa aja kayak gitu, cuman itu mainnya kayak sebelum gue main game multiplayer gitu, entah jam 7 sampai jam 8, jam 8 sampai jam 9 gitu, 2 kali. Nah, live stream ketiga baru game ramen itu baru bisa. Sebenarnya itu udah gue lakuin tapi di TikTok gitu. Gue punya sesi di TikTok, sesi farming gitu kan. Kadang gue pernah sejam main GTA KUTH, sejam main
banyak koreksi lagi dapat tas 3 habis kan itu busan
only climb. Only climb. Jadi itu gua pernah coba lakuin tapi di TikTok untuk farming doang. Waktu itu efektif. Lama-lama kan jerok juga ya kan. Norman Kamerun bah. Makasih 15.000-nya Bang Norman.
Throughout this entire tournament, where sometimes it works great but it feels like more often than not, you end up losing somebody pretty early, possibly the whole team.
I mean, Sonic's did it playing into the northern side of this pretty much exact same
Gue pengen nanya serius tuh, lu udah ada kepikiran pensiun gak sih? Belum bisa. Belum dan belum bisa juga. Kecuali gue punya kosan 100 pintu. Gue gak usah mikirin streaming lagi. Tapi gue tetap main game sih ujung-ujungnya. Tetap streaming juga sih.
Kalian pula mau skema T5 ini. Kabur kan dia kan? Kabur dia.
This is a 2-2 split from their
Nah,
top
V7
5.
bit. Day one singa bro.
The entirety of Veronica 7 were there.
Dia 2-3.
Then maybe might be a good idea, but it does look like V7 is going to push down now. It is
Anaknya Simba, anaknya Simba.
There have been 2 burning planes on Tango this PGC, with Luminosity and Genius being the ones to win the chicken dinners off of those. But worth noting that Veronica 7, despite starting off a beautiful day one, fantastic stuff, they have just dropped like a rock since then. But this might be something beneficial as Pow Pow.
Pow Pow.
And a million fantasy squads cried out at once. Pow Pow, please, not again.
Maybe. Yeah, it's
Lagu apa sih yang liriknya feeling like a ruthless Demon at night? Space Cadet by RVN VND. RVN VND bener ya?
And Veronica 7 picks up a well-earned and well-needed
Itu
kill.
rapper kelas
As we see 7-7 just
dunia
on the
sih.
side of the road. The rest of the boys from Tiamba starting
Mas
to
Jowo
arrive, but
nih.
that isn't going to help them out too much as their teammate is well and truly dead. And that's another -3 for Pow Pow here today.
Tiamba had a win from this exact area of the map. Makes perfect sense that they try and go back here again. When you're playing comfortable out of a position, might as well head back into that exact same area up towards Godok. Now though, having to play it as free as we see Face starting
Demon at night.
not over on the western side yet.
Baru ada yang nanya soalnya.
As we speak, but they are getting backfilled by both
Lagu apa sih yang liriknya feeling like a ruthless Demon at night? Pas gue jawab malah jawabannya oalah doang. Bangsat.
Exactly, and
Udah serius loh gue.
maybe the day trade heading a little bit farther east while Twisted is heading a little bit farther west, so none of them really following that same rotation line that FaZe is, so their backs should be fairly clear now. The other bridge off to the west, LG and Cerberus were kind of crossing it at the exact same time. No shots coming through,
ini
but
apa ya?
they were right on top of each other, Toby.
Merangkak dia dari belakang, dari bawah di pertama.
Kingmaker.
The mountaintop of Kingmaker, if
Satu
that's how we're
dia
gonna go
gapai
about it
batu
now.
loncatan.
Trying to scout on forward. Right now, very good in sharing this hilltop as we're seeing, I believe.
Wop, emergency kata Indonesia.
Somebody's doing an E-pick up
Fix
here
di sini
now.
nih, fix.
I'm not even sure who it is.
I'm not
Because
either.
it's not V7 or third on
Gox,
five,
makasih ya tipis-tipisnya Gox.
Those will be the 2 easy takeaways.
Gox
We'll see once they make it in.
segimana
It's going to be in the meantime,
Aduh, Mas
7-7 knocked at a
Jowo.
distance, and of course V7 well aware that they have
man.
Tiamba
Hop,
nearby.
mana dia,
This is
mana
just
dia ya?
from one
Mana dia
troublesome
kenok
game
ya?
into another.
Kok nggak ada, mana dia ya?
Continuing to struggle.
Mana dia ya?
Mana?
Mana dia ya?
Mana?
Looks like he may have misplaced
Mas Jowo tidak.
his knock there. 7-7.
Bang Kapa makasih 1 juta member gift-nya ya.
Just holding down inside the compound inside Godok, and
Lu live nggak, Bit?
we do now find out that it is
Tidak.
Tai Lu that was making the long emergency pickup, and they're going to find themselves a very clear
Tidak.
army base.
Di sampah.
They're going to steal away.
Di
Sama,
sampah.
Unfortunate there.
Di sama adik-adikan.
Aldo R7 makasih.
Nice trade there.
Kok 77 sih?
Solid headshots coming through on both sides.
Rehan,
Still
makasih
in
1
front
bulan ya.
enough, though. To go back to your Tyloo drop towards army base
Ada
makes perfect
kepikiran
sense,
apa
'cause
tadi?
even when Sonics were up there,
Kepikiran
again,
buat
they were
bikin
in that
konten
position.
yang bareng stream
Tyloo
network lagi nggak
actually
tuh ada
flew in,
kalau
stuck
itu.
around for a moment in this exact same position,
Tapi
then
belum
realized, wait, there's
tercapai.
another team here. Let's just
Karena
pick up
kita
straight back to the
sisa
south again. But this time around they will have
minus
army
Egi
base
ya,
to
minus
themselves.
Egi
We'll see
sedang
if Tyloo,
bekerja dia.
who currently sat in
Agak sulit
15th,
tentuinnya,
come
tapi
out
mungkin
victorious.
bisa-bisa
It would
aja.
be huge to start there, climb up the leaderboard.
The ultimate bait of the back-to-back E-pickup.
Yep.
Back to back.
We'll see. It looks like Tai Lu not actually hanging out in Army Base. Instead, they're going to keep ascending up that mountain. Kingmaker to the south of Army Base, and Sonic's starting to wrap around that
Akira,
direction as well.
makasih.
Ini matikan nih.
10.000-nya, iya ya.
Getting a little bit close. Twisted
Arya
Minds
Madani udah nggak
trying to
pernah
make their way
kelihatan,
over to
guys.
this bridge. They
Di Discordnya Nugi pun.
more to the west, but they end up cutting back
Bembe,
to the east where
tidak.
FaZe, as
Jangan
you
matikan
mentioned,
Twisted.
there
Jangan
was the
Dia.
possibility
Ada
of a bridge
muncul
camp
dia
here.
dah.
They've sent Fex on the
Muncul dia
northern
dah.
side of the river, but the rest of the three
Twisted is
remaining
my
members
tip.
of the team still on this south side, hugging the bridge.
Of course, the
Emang
Vickers in a
pikan
car
lu?
hearing more than one vehicle again.
Enggak.
We know
Iya.
the teams tend to pull up in these
Enggak,
positions and make
iya,
sure
iya, iya.
disengage, doesn't even peek
Si
over,
paling iya.
just trying to scan it. Here's the cast, instantly
Bonsai,
falls back. He knows
iya,
Fex on the
iya.
other side. Go down, follow him through. That's going to allow for Twisted
Harusnya
Minds to
kayak
now
dia
stop and
juara
scout
apa.
forward, but it's also going to
Udah berapa
force
kali
FaZe
dia
into a
gagal
split
juara?
where I'm worried
Dua terus.
that if Twisted Minds catches
Bukannya
them,
tiga
it
terus
might
ya?
be EMEA fighting one another on that southeast side.
Tipis poinnya kan, salib
Everybody
di map
centering up
terakhir
a
terus.
big time on
Nah
this
ini kejadian lagi
northern
nggak sih?
island
Oh,
circle,
yeah.
and
Harusnya.
nobody really playing around the edges. I guess the closest you could really say would be Sonics, and then Twisted on the south side. LG,
Kalau di
meanwhile,
TP1
they
sih ini
make
T5
their
sih
way
yang
on the
juara ya.
west. They're getting kind of close to the western
Duluan dia 4
branch
match-nya.
of the T5 split, but just kind of peeking over here. No shots being sent just yet.
Yep, Snakers wanting to get up on the rock, wanting to get a little extra vision, but of course well aware that it is dangerous to play those exposed high ground positions. So probably only staying there for a little while. As
Prediksi
now
bakal
3rd and
chicken
5 goes,
siapa?
start shooting there.
Dan
Lebih-
Nawa.
Lebih bukan prediksi
Nah,
sih,
nah,
ini lebih
nah.
ke harapan
There's
guys.
plenty of space in this
Ya.
northern island for everyone to be there,
Tapi tidak
especially when you
butuh
have two
prediksi.
teams not even there
Prediksi
yet.
enggak, harapan
So it's
ini
another
mah
7
benar.
seconds to see who
Nggak
gets the
muluk-muluk.
blessing of the second circle shift.
Worth noting that Sonics continuing
Ah,
their
meninggal.
route there.
Lihat,
They've
zone
had
drop.
success playing from Ari base, and
Nah,
now
T5
the
beneran
zone.
nih anjing nih lawan-lawan nih.
Kingmaker Mountain will be a big part of it here on that eastern side, but SSG
Tuh isi
and the 2-2
kehancuran ini.
split on the road in the
Kudu-
valley. They're going to go
kudu
ahead and
nyebrang
pull
ini.
everybody back together. Looks like T5 going to do the same. LG right behind them. Donawa, meanwhile, creeping up a little bit closer. They have Petrichor Road just to their south or downhill,
yeah.
and now Tai Lu above them, but they should have no idea that Tai Lu is there. And now you can hear the shots coming out. Might be Loki that got spotted.
Could be a perfect third
Kamu
party
pasti
opportunity
lihat
for
orang,
Tai Lu
Loki.
here. It's just Loki spots them coming. Shen taken
Kabur,
down. That's a
kabur,
big
kabur,
part of the
Loki,
assault
kabur,
here falling
kabur.
on the hands of Shen being knocked.
Only problem for Donawa is that everybody's split. Loki, the northernmost player here, or the uphill
Bikin takut
most
aja.
player. Now you see Salute still looking down there. He's kind of try to come up here and provide some support for his
Sebenarnya
teammate.
sama-sama takut ya
And
kan.
Day Trade, they hear that going on as
yeah.
well. They have just arrived on the eastern side of the mountain,
Cok, Nurin.
peeking over, but
Ngeker
they're going to
tanah.
be kept honest by Anonix and Soul, taking a few shots over in that direction.
We saw it when we were up here on day 1 of the grand finals. This
Macam
hillside,
nggak ada
this
panitia aja di
mountain
belakangnya,
is a
Dit.
third party fiesta once
Absolutely.
these fights start happening, and we don't even have all the
Yes,
teams
yes,
up here. We don't even know if the game is ending up on this
Bang
mountain.
Pao, mana
at
Tommy,
all.
Bang
But for
Pao?
now, teams set
Belum
very
ya.
close up high as these teams on the
Mana
southern
dia
side
tuh?
still make their way
Nangkap
out over
itu.
FaZe, Twisted
Udah
Minds, having to figure out how
sampai
they
dia
want to go
tuh.
about it. And
Udah loh.
Petrichor,
Tinggal.
again, well aware now that Dana was in the nearby vicinity, but I
Mana
think they
kopi
do not
mbit
want to
nih?
engage unless if absolutely forced to.
No, because
Toyo
it's
kan.
so hard. I mean, that's the thing about
Skinnya
Kingmaker
bagus
is that
banget,
there's so
sayangnya nggak ada
many
battle
ridges.
stat aja.
There's so, like this whole area right here.
PGC
You
ya?
can
Kan
have
lu
a good
punya.
idea of where
Punya.
one player is and no clue whatsoever where the other three guys
Cuman
are.
udah keburu
and
punya
that makes it
yang battle
really
stat,
hard
Dit.
to really want to truly engage on a fight.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
Beryl
Twisted
ada ya?
Minds, they
Ada.
they
Oh, yang
bide their
ungu-ungu
time,
nggak
let
jelas itu
FaZe
loh.
get across the bridge, and now they will backfill here
Mana
a
ya?
little bit. They immediately cross the bridge,
Ada,
cut to the
ungu
west.
dah,
They
udah.
see FaZe just uphill from them.
Yep, facing a lot of crates.
Matikan ini
eyeing
Twist,
those, of course. I
matikan
think
dia.
both Gustav and Fix got a little
Kok berhasil nyebrang dengan santai sih
a
dia?
little bit out of that one
Little
as
stimmy.
now Twisted Minds see them too.
Oh,
try and go
pajunya
on over.
rotate ya.
Heavy
Pasti,
spotting
pasti.
FaZe from rotation, but FaZe they're going right into the open arms of Veronica 7 here.
Veronica 7, they've got 3 up here. They've got Glaz back in the compound, but the rest of the boys playing
Hari
inside
ini
the hills.
matchnya sampai
FaZe
18
might be
guys.
pushing into something that they have no
Menang dia nih
idea
lawan
where it is.
Seven.
James has that high
Seven
ground.
lagi
He's already out on foot. He's going to take a
Drop.
shot. Tosi going to find Gustav as he makes his
Apa
way
iya,
through.
Bit?
Tosi immediately finds James as well. The
Wop,
train
wop,
coming
wop,
through.
wop. Mana
As
James?
Apa iya, Bit?
immediately goes down to
Dua.
Human. Heaven
Dua
gonna get
sama,
spotted
dua
by
sama.
Fex, and now it's 2 up
benar, dua
for
sama.
both
Drop!
squads.
Making
Apa iya,
it
Bit?
side of FaZe, and this is a third
What the
party
heck?
haven. The doors
Jurang,
are
bro.
open.
Wop, Tanadol, Tanadol.
17 from one side,
Waduh.
5 from the other.
Ah,
Coming into
tiga.
Salos, corrects it, tries to
One-on-one
make magic
situation.
happen. Solo player
mati
left
sama
alive now on the
T5 ini
side
mah.
of FaZe Clan. What can he do? Can he stay alive? Can he get another
Win
player back on their
semua
feet?
ya.
It looks
Aduh.
practically
Ayo,
impossible
17
at this
kill
point.
semua.
Not even a third party, it's a fourth
Ayo,
party coming
alah,
through as
TP
well.
ikutan.
17 coming from the south, T5 from the
Drop.
north. FaZe Clan is
Wah,
eliminated.
tuh,
in
dia
16
Twisted Man lewat,
minutes.
nggak lihat tuh.
T5
Twisted Man lewat,
has
kurang
arrived 4
ajar.
strong. Now B7 still have one up.
Anjing, cuek banget
17
Twist ya.
pulling away, as Twisted Minds wrapping through as well.
Mampus.
Absolute madness here on the south side of the circle.
Chaos unfolding on the southern side of the mountain as all these teams try and make landfall. Circle swings up towards the mountain once more.
Berharap tim apa Mas yang juara? Pasti Twist lah. Kita aja ngutuk dia biar tusun anjing.
You'll take the loss of Lou.
It's not over yet. They're still on the move. Have angles onto this. Gen G as well. Long range shots coming through from Ike's left. Damage coming through on the bot too. Perfectix will survive. Spiro down to about half HP. A few more shots here from the reload. Ming gonna
Drop.
as Kickstart also getting taken down. So multiple fights
Drop.
all across the map. Twisted Minds
Mampus.
once again in trouble here very early on in the game.
As you say, many teams take casualties, but I think where most people's eyes on the kill feed are is that Twisted Minds is losing players. It's what they want.
Oh, Tilotin, benar.
2 down, 3 down for Sonics. It's all down to H-Win as they try to make their way in from the north. H-Win the only one alive. He'll find a knock on A-Tong Mu. He's by himself, but he's not by far.
Dia pakai bye-bye fever itu ya, Bit ya.
Here's Zhao Yang. Slowly makes his way. It doesn't matter. LZ will be the one that gets him clean.
Ya, Bit. Kayak mana, Bit?
Play coming through and again very quick in reading where the push is coming in from. Tai Lu needs to be fast about it.
Saatnya kayak Sonic juara nih.
Tapi Twist sisa satu deh ini. Mati tadi sama Genji.
Mengambil hat dia.
0 point games would be atrocious. Last game though they got blessed by no one catching up. This time around I'm not so sure that's going to be the same.
Danawa nice.
Danawa taking it to
Aduh, kayak
Trade. 2 knocks and a return as well as Anonix gets flushed out. Soul Loki Salute still on that low side, or the high side rather, of Everest. Day Trade has a little bit higher ground than them. Flash still knocked. Bushil's making sure that nobody is creeping up while Norins goes for the revive.
What are you gonna do from here? You can see he just said that he wants to peek north, but he also knows that his back is completely open to the south. So while the rest is being committed to just trying to hold the angle, trying to make sure that no one wraps around or catches them off guard. Smart that he kind of puts the foot on the brake here to try and let the rest come through.
I think Danawa has to be having eyes on that kill feed as well. They know that their quarry right in front of them, Twisted Minds, is bleeding and hurting down to just Perfectix as LG creeping in from the western side. Padampong gonna get spotted out by DG.
Ya, gara-gara tinggal tin main PUBG Mobile kayak emang iya.
Involved up at the top, actually just off to the west, dead center circle really here with LG just off to their west.
A lot of teams in this game playing out of their natural habitat. 17 getting to sweep and spread out on the edge. New Heavy down there as well, trying to take control. Dano right in the middle of all of the commotion, wanting to get action going too. Outside the circle we still have Tianba and B7 in gold, trying to bring that fight to an end. Not that I think either of the two teams are going to high impact the rest of what's going to happen here. But of course, everyone waiting for next circle to pop as we send up once more.
Saudaranya
New Happy has a compound, 3 teams on top.
Atau anaknya Bit ya.
Gen G just off to the west. In a beautiful gatekeeping spot for the number of teams have to make their way in from the north. As Tianba does finally find
Ada taunting-tauntingnya
the last
gitu.
player left in Godok, and let's see if they can survive as 2 coming in from the south. As he said, 17 already there, but they're looking off to the north. They've got T5 to worry about. Meanwhile, Space Station, they are
Ada suara
completely
bocil, nggak
surrounded
tahu
by
dari yang mana.
3 teams on the southern
Jadi
half,
gua mute dulu aja.
10 on the north, and commotion is going to commence up here, and it starts right here, right now. Sharp finds one, Rush finds another, but it's on 2 different teams, and now Space Station knows that they got multiple teams in front of them. This is going to be a dangerous fight to take, no matter where they go.
Backsound bocil nih ya gue liat ya. Main EV lagi ke bang, nanti malam kita EV lah abang-abang.
2 teams, they are fortunately finding kills there, so that is good news for them. Meanwhile, 17, this is what we were looking for. They're pushing into T5. It looks like T5 has sniffed them out though, already taking shots over that direction.
The fact that there are 2 kind of just containing each their team is incredibly impressive as Luminosity continues to take casualties. Page again out there doing damage, finding knocks and kills to follow.
SSG waking up here. They've put LG down to just 2 players. As 17 trying to find an angle to take their time by surprise. Now they have lost Patapong. Asawat gonna have to get on the move once again as that just short. Little Ghost has that P90 that is absolutely terrifying as LG will get spotted out by Gen G off to the west here. Now as Tiamba trying to make their way in from the blue. A few shots from 17 will give up the game here. T5 should know where they are.
I mean, Tiamba is just going to add more fuel to the fire on this western side of the circle. Thought they were going to be safe, but as you say, now they go into a full stack of T5 players as they peek on over Linshu instantly taken down, and now it's just Sai left alive. Where, oh where do you go from here?
And meanwhile, on the northwestern side, that SSG split
Liatin
finally
Chess
getting
lah,
punished.
Bang.
They're losing
Lagi
players
perang.
left and right. ZYY just going to leave his
Malah ngeliatin orang rotasi.
Asik mati Houston man, asik.
G is going to spot out Perfectix and
Kalau
then
duluan,
Twisted
Ji.
Minds down again with 0 points, Toby.
Meninggal
Now
kamu
is the
Houston
time to climb,
man.
and while last game
Kamu
was tough for the
pergi
teams
aja,
in the top
Cana.
down, 17
Diam lah
both
kamu di
in
sini,
good
Jan,
positions
bangsat.
to rack
Udah
up
jadi
a
saya keluar.
lot of points in this match.
Aduh,
Cerberus
Jerusalem
back on the
suka
move
kali
again.
kau tu.
Solozzi and Hymas. Solozzi will lose the 1v1 with Sharp Shot.
Di rumah bos.
So he actually wins it. Hymas going to lose the 1v1 with Sharp Shot. So SSG now down, I believe, to just Page, who's inside circle, nowhere really near this. Can't get the res. He's out in the blue, but maybe can pick off a few more points as T5 still now wrapping around. ZYY hiding in the shed. 3 up for T5 as 17 has managed to allow them to live, but look at the ridge line that they're on as the circle will finally pull away from the top of the mountain.
Sama warnanya tuh
They're
orang-orang.
favored over towards this valley.
There's so
Ebo
many teams
juga lah nih
wounded out here in
ngelempar
the west, and the way that 17 is
netnya.
splitting up, trying to
Ya
take control
Allah.
of
Ya Allah.
In the end, Sai will fall.
Drop.
5 will try to reset here, but they have so little
Nih,
space to
lempar
maneuver now.
netnya
Tai
kayak kamu
Lu
banget sih,
making the
Bo.
way down here as well. The fight on the western side is still far from over.
Ain't nothing good in the neighborhood here for T5, despite the fact they get that kill. They've got a solo in Page and a solo from Cerberus making their way over, as well as
Wuh,
the
lah.
trade.
Bukan.
Finding it, but Page actually going to get the last shot into that, gets the credit for the kill as well. And there you go, SSG finally eliminated. Tanawa and the rest of Theraton 5 also
Chess ini
eliminated.
apa ya?
Solozzi, the last player alive for Cerberus, the only player alive from that western side.
Jumps ahead of
Masa nggak
as well,
mati?
Cerberus, while the game hasn't gone perfectly for them, still 6 kills now, placement points as well as Gen G starting to take this fight towards Tai Lu. If they do not execute this instantly, you can be pretty sure that 17 is going to be right there to follow.
And Donawa right there with them as well as they start to make their way down from the mountain on that northern side. Tai Lu will find the opening knock, immediately gets traded back. Xiao Yang down, LZ down. Shen will trade it back onto DG98. Pio working from inside the smoke. Doesn't matter. Tai Lu
Rata
cleans
nih,
it out. But
Dek.
now is Donawa in a
Mampus, Chess
position
juga
to
mati.
take advantage of these 2 knocks.
Yep, Cerberus down, Gen G down.
Nah, gini kan mantep ya, Bit ya.
The hunt, trying to make
Who's
their way
gonna
forward
win?
from one
17
side and
sini,
now
guys.
17 in from the other. Tai Lu in
cek
arguably the
dulu.
worst position you could possibly find yourself in with our current second and third place teams right around them.
They leave Xiao Yang behind and instead just send it into the zone. It's just Aitongmu and Shen.
Jangan Danawa aja
They
lah.
make their way in.
Janganlah.
Can Donawa even spot out
Nah,
Xiao Yang?
PNH
Get
juga
ready
nggak
for this
apa-apa,
kill?
Chicken.
No,
PNH
actually,
juga
okay,
nggak apa-apa,
Solozzi
Gak apa-apa sih
is the
semua
one that
nih.
got the knock
Asal
originally.
jangan
So that's
pero aja
3
tiba-tiba
points
ya kan.
now for Donawa as they play their way
Betul,
in
betul.
from the north. Now day
Tiga
trade
atas
still
nggak
making
apa-apa,
their way
siapapun
down.
yang Chicken.
Petrichor
Chicken.
Roads 4 strong from a compound high, and
Ini
also
kalau
New
gua
Happy,
pick
the
17
lagi, Bo.
down nanti.
nothing but high ground all
Exactly.
surrounding a bowl in the dead center, Toby, where nobody wants to go.
We literally have
Gua
2
pick
ridge
Danawa
lines
aja
just
kali ya.
going straight north to south and a highway of no man's land running down the middle.
Brutal
This is going to be
circle.
edge fighting on east and the western side into what could potentially be a center fight that's just going to be done in an instant as everyone's going to be running
Mana
around the
MG
open.
Blue
That's the other
6
thing
nomor
about
0
this
ini.
too is this ain't Miramar. You can't just get vision on what's across the circle from you.
True.
There's trees, there's terrain, there's everything.
Ini guys, Tiro lagi
So
nyayur
it's going to
banget.
be very, very difficult for any of these teams to
10
really third party
kill
any fights that happen unless they happen to be right on top of them. We'll have to see. It's phase 5 and we are down to just 20 alive and our top team is out of the picture right now. Donawa 17
Pero
both
lagi
stand
anjing.
to gain here if they can pull it off.
4 players inside this next circle, 3 of whom are on the side of Petrigor. This is going to be a bloodbath and could very well be a game over by phase
knock the
7
scene, Chewy.
if these teams fight the way that we expect them to. Petrigor first want to take casualties. That's Chewy. That's the anchor player from up high. They could not afford to lose him, and I think they will try and see if they can get it back on their feet. Issue is, does Day Trade now try and make a play off it? Does New Happy from the southern
Kebunnya mulai
side
jam
start
berapa?
getting
Jam
further
10.
New Happy Let's not forget about them. Obviously, all eyes on Donowa and 17, but New Happy could stand to gain a lot
Harusnya pas gua nobar itu udah pada ngumpul ya,
if they can pull it
harusnya.
off. They've not even really been in the conversation. But they've managed to collect points at a consistent pace. They've managed to keep themselves right in striking distance, waiting for an opportunity just like this. See if they can capitalize on it. Everything's slowed down for the time being. Chuki looks like he might be able to get res here. Petrichor Road just waiting to be sure.
This is what happens when you eliminate half the game.
Rata
You
anjing
have the
tadi.
lobby in 2 circles. That creates a bit more space, but as you can see, here still, while there is space to take, no one's willing to try and claim it. A Salute makes the run on forward. A Tongmu peeks him, spots him, gets him down to low HP. This nade might just be able to seal the deal.
Salute hiding behind the tree. Tongmu
Bisa begitu. Baru gua pick barusan Danawa anjing. Memang mantap ya. Did not anjing, did not.
Is wrapping around from the north side, Toby. Loki and Soul in a terrible position here. He's going to try to
Ya Allah bang, nape langsung did not gitu bang. Allahu Akbar. Kayak mana Beat? Yang gue pick langsung jadi dead note Beat.
17 breaks that 100-point barrier as now they turn their full attention back over towards Tyloo. They've gotten 1A Tongmu doing the most.
Harusnya gue pick Pero tadi ya, biar tusun.
We'll do it for him as Daytrade picks up another point. Daytrade throwing a spanner in the works of this entire lobby right now.
If there's a time to climb, now is that time with just 4 games left to play. We made that 3 1/4 as Daytrade in 14th try and make their way back up this leaderboard.
But now, pick Pero guys nih biar jadi dead. Berserak mampus.
They've still got 4 lives, 6 kills in the bag, but New Happy 4 strong, Petrichor Road 4 strong, and so much space in this zone, Toby.
Twisted Mind sat alone, then Donowa got close, and now 17 might rejoin that race in the top of the leaderboard. But this next circle could very much decide whether that's going to happen or not. They have the rich, they have an area to play, but if this swings anywhere east, the run on down from 17 here is going to be practically impossible.
Please nariknya jangan ke Pero.
Slow down for a second. All right, there it is, right in the valley. Petrichor Road gets to hold on to that spot, but Lil Ghost finds an angle. We'll get the knock on the Ming. And New Happy, I think as soon as they see that in the kill feed, they start thinking about making their way, their wrap up to the north on that eastern side, but now have pulled back through the smoke. Chewy will try to go for the res on a Ming, and it looks like he should be able to get it.
It's a Chinese standoff here, again, for 3 powerhouse teams that all of their respective years of PUBG esports has been the team out of the Chinese region now, all trying to claim it once more. Again, I mean, while the talk has been 17, Donowa and Twisted all day long, and the last couple of days too, New Happy with a win here with a couple more kills to boot could be right in joining that conversation.
You want a top 3 with some star power, this is where you're going to find it. Ming, Pikes left, Suju, Xiaobei, Xiaowu, Lil Ghost, so many players in this lot, in this final 12 that at one point or another have been considered among the best in the world. Now they have to take on each other for this final Taego win, this match 15 in the grand finals on the final day.
We can put it this way, for those of you guys who don't watch Chinese PUBG on the regular, this is a perfect showcase of just how insane PCL in the Chinese region can be in PUBG.
Wah, makan dia.
Road still have the high ground, still have a lot of cover that they can work around. New Happy trying to send it down a little bit south here, but Petrichor Road finds a little bit of an angle, so New Happy slowing down just a little bit. 17 opting for the 2-2 split, but you can see the smoke walls laid down. So New Happy finding an angle onto that as well. And again, Toby, this is Taego. This is a map that these guys, while familiar with, are not that familiar with. Where they feel great about it is Chewy's going to find the knock on a Little Ghost.
And it's these small angles. It's these small, narrow angles that teams just do not anticipate. To go back to what you're saying, like there's so many weird off angles that still have yet to be found, that are only found when showcased in tournaments like these. The thing is now, everyone is in. While some teams only have literally an inch to work with, they are inside the circle. So they're waiting for that final pop. Phase 8 is going to show itself in 10 seconds, and everyone praying that their edge of the circle is where it's going to go.
Where, oh where will this
Susah
RNG
banget
take us?
Gunai.
This is as equal as can be.
And
Look
it
at
is
the
donut
percentages
right
too.
in the middle.
32, 32, 34. This could not
Pero
be
sih
more
masih
even.
lumayan ya.
Well, the
Masih enak.
Petrichor compound
Tapi
is
cuman batu
out.
ini deh yang enak.
The high ground, some high ground cliffs still in, but you can see that Ike's left has already taken a spot on that low side. Unfortunately for him, 17 still have shots there. Chewy gonna find Lil Ghost again. The Renok coming through. Should be rezzed once more, but Lil Ghost, you gotta imagine he is just broken and busted as far as armor is concerned.
And again, in the upper hands, we would say that New Happy down on the southern side have the hardest time trying to make their way on in, but because the circle swings just a bit
Udah 2
east,
kali di situ.
17 will have to make the first move. Now, they do have cars, they should have a couple of smokes too, but if they can find the knock here, if they can find the knock on Petrichor and then allow themselves to get into position off it,
Ike's
that
left.
would be huge. But as you're seeing here, Ike's left being very smart about the way that he peeks, only allowing for one shot to come through before going into cover again. He has a 3 helmet, he knows they only have the marks to work with. They cannot find him with one tap. So peek on over and get back into cover.
17 laying the smoke walls down. The blue has finally arrived on their backs. They have to make a move. But New Happy and
Pohon doang dong
Petrichor
modalnya.
staring them down. Shots through the smoke will do damage, but no knocks come through just yet. Ming Ming.
Aduh,
CC would wait. He'll find Lil Ghost. We had a feeling Lil Ghost might be pretty busted, but Ming gonna get spotted by the
New Happy gas, ayo New Happy.
Kanan dia dapat.
So that is now New Happy full strength, while Petrichor Road at 17 down to just they're just denying to the blue at this point. I think 17 realizing the situation, not much they could do, but they have managed to gain ground here.
New Happy.
Too much for them to fight for here. New Happy is in the race.
Nah, ini lucu ini. Jerok! Low.
Ready to take one down. Ike's at full second, 8 follow.
Jerok! Mampus!
Zona nggak sih?
Let's go, let's go, let's go. New Happy. New Happy jerok anjing.
New Happy for New Happy, and they are back in the conversation.
They were in the valley. They were thrown
Boleh,
down.
boleh.
And in the
Naik,
end, while they were
naik.
the ones in
Naik,
trouble, they
naik.
called the ambulance. But as they said, that ambulance wasn't for them.
Don't call it for me, call it for you. New Happy comes
New
back
Happy.
in a big way and collects a win in what was arguably one of the most difficult top 3 here, difficult zones, and they managed to pull it out. Unbelievable stuff.
Tapi Pero emang susah sih tadi, zonanya cuma batu doang tadi.
In terms of the points
Yang
coming
ini.
into this one, with New Happy getting a win here, now that's a 4-horse race with 3 teams at 100+. What a finish to game number 4.
Begitu guys, dapat onde mande twist day ya. Emang granat-granat PGC itu udah serem-serem banget ya, parah. Itu tuh granat bisa cuman 1 senti di depan congor lu. Udah ngeri banget. Anjing, ngeri banget sih Bang Enhan nih. Musim mangga.
Welcome back. Game 3 is done, and New Happy gets their 3rd chicken dinner of the grand finals. If there was ever a time to
chicken
turn
dinner
on, this is it. And
with
these
the
lads
New
are back
Happy.
in the hunt for the championship. Let's look back at their journey. It's highlights.
It is the highlights, and what a fantastic game on Taker here. The last one of PGC 2023, and it's been interesting. It's been entertaining.
It's been
and I gotta say,
Petik mangga artinya apaan Bang? Panen artinya.
that northern, like the area is just perfect for just entertainment and also accommodation of most teams possible, right? You have to fight in all these ridges and divots, and it's just super hard to do.
As Poro puts it, there's lots of trees and terrain that you have to navigate
Ntar
around
di
here in
match
this area.
16 gua ambil makan kali ya guys ya.
Analytical, we've heard.
But
Tapi perut gua ada mulus-mulus nih. Gimana ya? Makan dulu apa mulus dulu guys kira-kira? Nanya lagi kan gua.
If you hold the high ground, you're not always an advantage because the tree cover is so high, you don't have the chance to look downhill and get those clean shots. We saw teams working here on the outside.
Makasih lo tanda seru gamenya diedit dulu tuh apa maksudnya?
Through the trees, just barely there, and reminds me every time I watch it how much these
Maksudnya
players' vision is
apa?
How they're able to also navigate through, like, those small,
Maksudnya
tiny angles,
apa?
right,
Makan
to
dulu
make
toh
sure
biar
you
ada
have the
tenaga
advantage.
buat boker.
Utility usage on Taker has been absolutely on point.
Nice,
And
nice.
close this one out and put themselves
Kalau
in the
mulus
race.
dulu nanti gua makan pengen boker lagi 2 kali dong bokernya.
Amazing, good to see.
Soalnya gua makannya ricis nih guys.
Almost
Pasti
2021.
ada
We'll see if they
dorongan
because
untuk
they are gonna be closing that gap.
ke WC setelah itu ya.
By the
Soalnya
time
pedes
Victor,
nih.
we're here to break down the action, and it's very- let me break it down for you right now. It is
Link
close.
kaos dong.
It is at least a
Beli di
5-team
Jogja bang ini bang.
race right now to get the
Udah mulai
championship with only
luntur.
3 matches left to play. But let's
Biasalah.
take a look at the top 4 teams from that game.
Keluar Borobudur ya kan.
17, Petrichor, Tyloo, and New Happy. And the big takeaway here is
Baju-baju
our leader
gocap
went out
35
early.
nih.
Our second
Gocap
place
berapa?
team
40
went
apa
out early.
gocap ya?
17 and New Happy had to put up points, and they did.
They
Alhamdulillah.
did, and they put themselves in the race here. Danawa got a little bit of
Cuman
points,
7
which means
kill
they're also
doang.
super close to Twisted. With the NHG
Terus
Sports, they're
34.
gonna be super tight. But of course, it is the Tego winners.
Bebeksus belum guys, kita lagi rajin main Evil dulu guys.
Like they held that
Malam
solid
ini juga
side,
main Evil
and they
kita.
shifted in towards that area
Sekitar
where they're like, okay, we're not
jam
gonna force a fight between
10
Petrichor
lah
and
nanti.
ourselves. And this means that
Ditunggu
CC 108,
saja.
he's gonna get the MVP for that one, or the man of the match at least,
Yeah.
with 300 damage and 3 kills. And the way that they're controlling it, the way they're making sure that they have the angles,
Yeah.
of course, making it extremely difficult for 17. They didn't have much more like
Damage
cover to work with,
300
they didn't have
deh,
much
3
utility to
kill.
work with, which means it's gonna be like a fight with them with Petrichor in the end. So
Santai
also the multiple
banget
knocks on it. And now it's gonna be 17 points. Tyloo up
Yep,
with
big
14. That means that they're gonna be rising up a little bit off the bottom of the leaderboard. But
Total
17
17
getting 11-2 is
poin.
huge. NHG Sports being able to also
17 sih
Ayo,
lumayan,
juga
11
mid
poin.
lagi.
That's
massive, yeah.
That's huge for them. Donovan picks up 5. A Cerberus still is able to chase that hot. Let's
Beuh.
Twisted Minds holds the lead.
Takut,
160.
Mantap kali beat kita, beat naik beat.
14 looking good. 17 New Happy.
Wah.
Wih, jelas lah, bos.
Ini dia. 14
Twist nanti turun ke
0505.
5.
Beuh. Twistnya langsung turun ke 4 besar ya kan.
Lagi dan lagi, Bo.
That's too far. SSG's too far. Too far.
Too far,
Maybe Sonics. One big game, and all of these teams are able to jump back into the hunt.
Si paling
The big
maybe
one for me,
Sonic
though,
dah.
is we say that's if the top teams let off the gas. In the last game, they showed that they have weaknesses.
Okay, and on top of that, Luminosity Gaming, they've felt today. They have
Yep.
got 4
Mas Pip bisa diajak
points
main
today
Evil
in
kagak
3
tuh?
games.
Udah keramaian guys,
That means
insya Allah ya.
they're almost out of the race right
Yep.
now. It's like 30 points behind. That's gonna be
Tapi nggak tahu dia kalau main game gitu biasanya males dah. Mikir kan soalnya. Dia cocoknya main game yang nggak mikir deh, yang cuma hahihi itu. Cocok deh.
Thank you, Toffees. As we're going to be coming in a bit cold, but that's oddly fitting given that we're making our way
Evil
over
map
to
baru
Bikini to
tuh
start off everything, and then
mungkin,
two
tapi
areas
kayaknya
of
bakalan
we're gonna be
map
closing
biasa
out
dulu
match
karena
with
lagi-lagi ada
Bikini
orang
Spot
baru
now,
yang main
but
guys.
man, it is a race
Mungkin
for
nanti
first.
setelah
Actually,
map
it is
baru,
a big
map
close
biasa
finish.
ada
At
nyoba
least it
map
seems
baru
to be
mungkin
shaping
ya.
up to be that way
Kita nggak
matchup
tahu
that we
nanti
have
sampai
ever
jam berapa.
had. In PGC history, things are neck and neck. New Epi is shooting up the leaderboards right now, absolutely looking to be the first team
Absolutely
to win 2
looking
PGCs.
for.
Everybody else at
Kita
the top of
lihat.
this doing okay, but nobody's running away with it.
Oh, it looked like it might go that way with Twisted Minds, the way they kicked everything off, but it has just been a couple of hurdles for them to try and navigate moving in, as now Vikindi, lions and tigers and bears, oh my galore, going to be coming after everybody.
And it is just incredible. So far, the games today have just been an absolute pleasure to watch. We've been losing our minds in the green room watching the games so far, and now we finally get to see who's going to come through. Big smiles on the faces of Donawa. They're doing a good job keeping themselves confident, keeping themselves in it.
All right, well, enough of the talk. It is time to get ourselves situated. It's time to make our way to Vikindi.
Wop, main Vikendi.
Is crazy north. It's going to be going over Dino Land ending just south of Cosmodrome. Oh my God, Paper, do we finally get it?
Vikendi turun mana bit?
We have a
Is it
potential
time?
for Cosmodrome, please. Oh, I know even Dino.
Dino Land's also
Nice,
acceptable.
nice
Either
bit.
of those is totally fine.
Betul,
but,
betul.
I mean, this is
Nice,
unbelievable.
Mr.
Nice,
what we've been
nice.
seeing here today. New Happy has to go pretty far to get to Deca Mesto.
Wih, yang di
off this
Castle itu
lane
tim mana ya?
could be potentially a little bit challenging for them. It's just been just an absolute treat so far. 17 needs to pick it up, but again,
Gua banget
keep in
tuh
mind,
turunnya di
17
Castle.
is definitely an Erangel team. I mean, that is the map where they really explode. So if 17 can keep themselves in it here on Vikendi, then absolutely you gotta start thinking about that team as a potential champion.
LG was in a good position at the start of the day, and it's been a bit of a slide for them, but they are also our Vikindi squad. They're the ones who've been
lupa.
in stuff, so we'll have to keep an eye on them as
Sorry,
well.
lupa guys.
Maybe there's some signs of life that could be happening. We see the drops not a lot in the dust-ups. Looks like everybody's going to get a pretty decent amount of space.
Ya guys, jangan lupa di like-nya dulu nggak sih guys? Ini match 16 nih. Dari 18 match today.
In your region, but Twisted Minds going to be keeping our eyes onto them for sure, as they are absolutely, you know, they're on top, but it is unbelievably close right now. New Happy is going to get just to that outer edge of the road, and the circle is going to center right towards where Barrel drops.
Rip the Cosmodrome dream, but I still have my eyes on Dinoland. There's also a lot of verticality that we could be looking in. Let's not forget, whenever we look over into the green areas on the map, it's going to be mostly low ground positions. That's one of the good things about whenever you're looking at the topographical section of this map. Doesn't mean the fact that where we see Twisted Minds pretty much do center in their loot drop inside of this circle, they're going to be in a good position to make some very smart choices off the start with this.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. The last couple circles, maybe not so kind to them, but they're generally a team that plays really well on the edge. I thought they made some uncharacteristic dashes for central circle positions that didn't quite work out. I like to see them backfill, but in this case, they don't really need to do that. This should be an opportunity for them to rake in some points.
A lot of times I get really mad at teams whenever they start to have that lead and then they start playing passive and then they start playing not to lose instead of to win. That hasn't been the case with Twisted Minds. It's just been some hellacious circles that they're trying to navigate, so they could have an opportunity here to really get themselves into a good point going forward. But I mean, 17 Gaming nipping right at their heels. New Happy as well tied up with them. Cerberus has been a come up of their own today that I am really looking forward to see what they can do on these last 3 maps.
No doubt about it. There's still a world where Cerberus gets through here. They are playing fairly well so far today, and it seems like it's a team that just needs that one big game and they start exploding. And normally they're a team that's kind of down coming into the last days and they explode. At least that was the case at PGS1. So if they can find that energy now when things are a little bit closer, when they're really within spitting distance of that first place spot, of getting that trophy, of getting the first international win for an APAC team, that would be huge for them, for their region. You know, these guys have been together for a little while now and they are just getting better and better every tournament, it feels like. Could this be the culmination of all of that? Can they finally break through and find a trophy? And I guarantee you there will be a lot of fans here. We've got fans from all over the world, but there will be a lot of fans here who are very happy for Cerberus in the studio and out.
Cerberus and Twisted Minds feel like they have a whole bunch of those thunder sticks going in their favor right now. If you keep hearing that loud clapping sound, that's what's going on with those. So we'll have to see, as this has been a very quiet Vikendi so far.
Very quiet, yeah. It's nobody's really kind of messing with each other. Everybody's tightening up. There's still a ton to play for, regardless of whether you're in the hunt for first. Obviously, that's the most important. Obviously, that's the thing that everyone wants. Mime, that vehicle should be okay, right? Yep, no problems. But every place matters. So you want to get as many points as you can, regardless of where you are in the leaderboard currently, regardless of whether or not you really have a chance to potentially win this thing. We got 3 games left. Look, you can put up 40 points in 3 games and completely change your destiny. It happens. You can win back-to-back games. It happens.
This is the dream, right? It's a year of games that have built into this stage. Hopes, dreams, livelihoods on the line for each one of these squads. So yes, while some of them probably not going to be reaching up and touching that first place position like you're talking about, every single position on this matters, and we are looking at the 16 best teams in the world in PUBG right now.
No doubt about it. This has just been one of the most fun lobbies to watch ever. The most fun. I'm just going to call it that. It is the most fun lobby to watch ever. These guys are all putting it all in the line every time, trying to find those big plays. Looking to harass Cerberus a little bit. Cerberus actually going to rethink their movement here and kind of stop up and fortify their position.
Yeah, down into the southern area. Keep in mind they are running a 2-1-1 split, so with Cerberus just next to them as well as Twisted Minds, that might be hard to hold on to. We've got a couple of rotations as well that could lead to some drama, as I believe LG looks like they might be going for 17 Gaming's position. That might be a fight that could pop off. Almost everything else pretty quiet right now. It's just jockeying for position along this hillside right now, just due to the strength of this position in general. And Twisted Minds already positioning up. They're going to get a high ground advantage back down into where Cerberus is going to be playing from. So Cerberus in a little bit of a split, but I mean, without all of V7 there, you can't really call it like a very dangerous point yet.
No, not at all. It seems to be safe for now. We'll see if that continues on the lumberyard. And Batu going to use this high ground that he loves. This is the the quintessential Batulins play, get up as high as possible and get the info, make the decisions based off of that. Donawa coming in from the coal mine from the northwest, just going to be taking their time, trying to get as deep as they can without making any contact, try to play off the edge. They're pretty good at it. Salute's going to load up a Panzerfaust in this car, see if that comes into play later. I was keeping my eyes off screen here that Sonics and SSG were getting a little bit close to each other, but it looks like both teams have decided to peel away, not make anything out of what is essentially potentially nothing. So that fight should be calm for now.
I've turned back and just kind of looking at the players right now. You can see the tension mounting. Nobody yelling, nobody doing anything else like that. It's just, okay, guys, we've got to do this. This is what's going on. Everybody wants to make sure that these last 3 games, they're coming in with that right momentum, specifically onto Erangel, which everybody knows oh so well. Having a performance on Vikendi can kind of catapult you, get that momentum going in that right direction, and it looks like it is going to be Donawa aggressing into this
Souls.
one. T5.
He's on the gondola.
Oh, do they read it? Looks like it is going to be T5 getting out very, very quickly. And we've already seen this play try to be done once, and this time going to go ahead and buy the space. He's got himself the right way to do it off the start, though, right?
Imagine if that hit. Just imagine a world where that hits. But of course, there's plenty of Panzers to be found on top of those, as those are the areas where only Panzers spawn. So could potentially grab another one. I like what Donawa does there. You know, sets up a timing play that if Theraton 5 sticks around, you've got a real opportunity to hit them in a couple different angles and make it a really difficult fight for T5 to deal with. But T5 very wisely there. Recognize there's an open position to their southeast. Let's just drift over there and get away from a fight early. We don't need to take that. That's very much T5 style too.
Yeah. I mean, they can be aggressive. We know that about them, but you don't need to be unnecessarily aggressive. And I think that that's what they were just vibing on right there, realizing, hey, Circle hasn't revealed exactly where we're going to be going. If it goes up to the northwest, we might see some type of fight for that position. But right now, we've been seeing a very southern lean in our circles. So specifically, a lot of our teams are kind of playing for that factor right now. I think that Day Trade and Sonics are the best teams in on opposing sides of Deca.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's just looking to get centrals-ish. They don't want to be on the hillsides around the edge of the green space, like where Petrichor Road drops. There's outside of the compounds that are on those edges, there's a lot of downslopes, and they're pretty wide open. There isn't a ton of trees, actually, and rocks and things like that, so you got to be a little bit careful. And you know that any team that tries to get into territory near Petrichor Road, near New Happy, things like that, is going to be in a world of hurt pretty fast, especially with the way New Happy's playing today. They are on another level. They are out to get that first ever 2-time win.
Well, we say it. You got to step up. When the moment is there, this is the time. This is a full year of build into it, so you can't rest back on the, oh, well, if only I had played this one game different. You just have to take destiny in your hands and grab it. NH, they want it so bad, but in the position they're in right now, they at least have the opportunity for it. But I mean, when you're going against 17 Gaming, Donawa, Twisted Minds, there is heart, there is desire, there is drive on every single one of those squads.
Yeah, and tons of experience amongst all 4 of those teams you're talking about. I mean, you think about Twisted Minds, who's been oh so close so many times, winning a lot of domestic titles, but then tons and tons and tons of top 5 finishes, second, third places across so many different events. Can they finally break through? It's a big question. Donawa, you've got that tremendous experience of Inonix and Loki in particular, winning so many different events across a couple different years even. And 17, we know what they're capable of. We saw it at PGS1. They won the PCL Summer. No doubt that they can get it done.
Still so quiet right now. Just a couple of shots at Day Trade, and that's about it. I believe it's going to be LG as there's the circle. Goes pretty centered, so most of the squad's going to be pretty happy about that. Most notably, we need to look into the south. It is going to be LG, Day Trade, all kind of cresting in the same position. SSG, Sonic's also going to be moving over there. Remember what we were looking at a second ago with B7 as well as Cerberus. Cerberus is separated up into the north, so that means that B7 should be able to get that hillside around Lumberyard, but I doubt that they want to stay there. That's not necessarily prime real estate.
Yeah, no. That's definitely not where you want to be necessarily. Twisted Minds on the move, leaving the lumberyard, and looking to set up as close to the middle of Petrichor Road's compounds as they can safely manage.
This is risky, though.
Yeah, T5 is just sending it deep, and they're going to lose players. Rosita Jr. already down.
I mean, this is just a directed send in, and inadvertently assists Twisted Minds, because now Petrichor Road is just lined in directly onto this one. Chewy and X-Slip just demolish anything that T5 was trying to get going there.
That's a desperation send for T5.
Yeah.
Felt like they wanted something central. If they're going to get some big points, if they're going to shoot up the leaderboard, they had to go for something huge. But Petrichor Road, sturdy as always, so ready for it. And Chewy and Aches left just absolutely annihilate them.
Other potential brewing fights, V7 moving more north while Cerberus is going to be collapsing in. You can see that Twisted Mind's going to be playing this hillside for now, and with ideas that nobody's going to be back behind them to the southeast. This is playable for right now, but Cerberus keeps creeping closer and closer by the second, and that is a vulnerable angle for them. But again, V7 could be coming up back behind Cerberus. Now it could be also Twisted Minds that could feast off of everybody coming down the hillside, just depending on how this plays out.
No, you make a really good point. Here we go, the opening knock from Hisaki. Is V7 going to get involved? It's a real question. They're really peppering Twisted Minds. Oh, actually, it's going to be Danawa who's helping out Twisted Minds inadvertently here. Put a little bit of damage into Cerberus. Cerberus on the move. Are they going to make a play for this?
I like this. Cerberus realizes if they have an opportunity for first, it's going to be against the squad lined in here. They're inside of vehicles. They're moving aggressively, trying to get into mid-range. Blue is at least going to do some damage to try to shoot them off that angle, but Hisaki, he's got vision in. Can he tap somebody out? No! Instead, Hamas just going to go ahead and hop inside the vehicle, run behind the smokes. Can't quite find an angle to work with. Maybe now Solzy can do something, but Twisted Minds reads this. Where are they going to even be running to?
I love this play from Cerberus. They know the leaderboard. They know the situation. They are going for the throats. Perfectix is going to be found by Hisaki. He has been clean with that Mark 12.
And now Twisted Minds limping away from this position. Daytrade still got some harassing angles onto him. They're at least going to be able to get away from that. But now it is going to be a very weakened position that they're going to have to be running down towards. LG and NH, the new targets over here.
No doubt about it. Take a quick look back at the defensive line that Aches left, and Chewy are able to set up. A little bit unfortunate for Patampong with that. Panzer hits the tree in front of him, not able to get it go where he wants, and Aches left has a bit of a pop-off.
Shout out to Chewy. Whenever you have an explosion go off like that right in front of your face, sometimes it really messes up like your focus on what you're staying in on. He was like, no, I know exactly where he's at. I'm not giving up. Flood getting those couple of shots in on Twisted Minds as the rest of LGs are going to kind of regroup over here, but it doesn't look like they're pursuing this right now.
And LG, if they wanted to, could find an angle to potentially punish Twisted Minds' positions. They need points badly.
I'd be more concerned about the Sonic's positioning. We just saw Tiggleton get a high ground position. He is playing to the west of the hill. If he gets up on top of it and starts looking over into the east, that's going to be right into Twisted Minds. New circle pops. Petrichor Road in their defense is going to be real rewarded.
Yep, this compound, I've seen it before. The circle does give it a lot of love, but it has a lot of room. It has room for multiple teams. 2, sometimes even 3, could end up squeezing into there as circles collapse. Danawa going to keep their hillside in. So this high ground position that they bullied T5 out of is giving them a ton of info, a ton of space. And Onyx and Soul trying to do what they can to make SSG's rotation that much more difficult.
Oh, dude, but it's stalled down SSG enough. They did a great job of navigating where all the down one positions were at, but it's going to be right at the time that Daytrade's going to be roaming into this. It's going to cut off the path that they were really wanting to take, and guess who they're near? That's going to be Cerberus. Remember those guys that are on the hunt? They want as many points as possible. They essentially sense the fact that they have an opportunity here. V7 going to go ahead and use that opportunity to also try to creep by them, but can't really, as every single angle is kind of closed off.
Yeah, V7 now driving to the south of Cerberus, trying for a different angle to approach this circle. The problem for them is, Sonic's already in there, Twisted on the move. They're surrounded by 2 NA squads.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to send it? Sonic's look like they don't really vibe off of this. They're going to shift off of that hill. That's going to relent and at least give Twisted Minds somewhere to play as they're losing vehicles, they're losing everything right now. It's full on damage control for them.
No, I mean, even though they got somewhere safe-ish for a moment, they lost their vehicle, they're out of the next circle, and LG is swinging on their backsides.
And now we can see V7 trying to move down into this point at roughly the same time that Sonics are moving in. A bit of a standoff as both squads realizing, okay, this is going to be pretty dangerous. Kickstart looking like he's playing around this point, but Glass is going to line into Tiggleton and get the knock on to him. A lot of damage comes back in retaliation. Smokes are going to come down. The rest of V7 now making their way to support.
Kick going to line up a grenade here, try to return the favor to Glaz. Wasn't cooked quite enough, or either Glaz wasn't close enough to find the knock. Human with an AK, not his desired gun, an AK SKS. Definitely V7 had to cut loot a little bit to try to get into this circle a little bit sooner, but still up close and personal, the AK absolutely shreds.
And it's strong if you can control the beast that it is with that kick. Looking out, Twisted Minds still have LG that's pretty close to them. LG going to be rotating just a bit to the north. Well, it's going to be 17 Gaming taking some shots, but don't forget New Happy's over here as well. Well, I say over here, about a kilometer away, but they have vision on what 17 Gaming is trying to do. Twisted Minds still alive, but you got to say the positioning is scary.
And I would hope that LG is considering just gatekeeping Twisted Minds as much as possible. Twisted probably going to try to rotate off of this position. It's just too strong for them to really have a good chance of breaking through, especially though vehicles. Rello getting some damage. Mine going to find a knock.
They now realize who the target is in front of them 100%. Focus fire is now going to be coming out. Even 17 Gaming's like, oh, that's who you're shooting at, and now starts also peppering some shots in. V7 trying to make their push in. They are going to spot this one out. Exchange it, though. Look at those nades. The fire coming out from Shrimzy as well. And now Sonic's trying to hold the line. H1, Shrimzy still up.
Shrimzy so good in close quarters combat in this event, especially with that AR. The grenades now splashing around the outside of V7. Shrimzy gonna reposition and go for the res. This is a really nice spot to res in. Gumin being attempted to be picked up by Heaven as well. Should be good to go at least momentarily.
New circle has popped. It's nowhere near here. That means the pressure is going to be mounting. Twisted Minds has also shifted in this position. They hear the firefight. They might look to just third party this one as much as they can. Cerberus also came down from the hillside. They want to pick up whatever they can on the outskirts. Little Ghost is going to go down. Flood's going to go ahead and spot him out. This is right on the edge of the new zone, and Cerberus is going to be taking some pot shots in back behind them. I'm caught up in this fight, though. This one has a ton of impact we're going to be looking at.
Yeah, Twisted Minds hoping to maybe salvage some points off of this fight, but both V7 and Sonics got back up to 3 players each, so they were able to turn their attention in that direction. Good awareness from V7. Heaven, Shrimzy under bombardment as he tries to flee. Spyro gets H-Win out in the open. That might be at least a point, yes.
And that's just full on damage control right now. Last one up, realizing the problems, trying to get some more out of it. Now Sonic's going to be cutting it back to the path where 17 Gaming and LG were presently at. See how they have to make that hold. V7 realizes the fight is done. They're going to go ahead and hop in some vehicles. They're going to be running away from Spyro's positioning. Can he find another one as it's going to be revealed right in front of him? He can't. The meds. He's got to do it. He's got to commit.
Yeah, this is the last first aid in his bag. Maybe he can find some more here. Yeah, 4 more. But the Sonics see him. Kickstart takes him out.
Okay, now you've managed to pick up something, Sonics, but you have a path of major resistance in front of you. V7's already used that opportunity to move in and gatekeep, so this wall is now officially V7, LG, and 17 Gaming with Sonics limping into it.
And Donowa was falling apart to Tai Lu, but Tai Lu getting shredded by FaZe Clan. Grenade up and over. Oh, that's just a stun from a Tungmu. Tungmu, last one alive now. It's a blue zone out there. Donowa's an Onyx thinking about a frag, but Tungmu on the angle's gonna get the knock.
Nice read onto it. Can we find anything else? I think it's Salute, the last one up. He's coming in to try to provide something, but he was at range. He should at least have an idea on where everybody's going to be lined in at. You know that he's going to drop down the smokes. Is he going to commit into the res, or is he going to go for the play? Looks like he just wants to get his teammate back up, but Tungmu had that earlier read into it as now. Even we have mortars trying to land over here.
I think that's FaZe Clan shooting those mortars, if I'm not mistaken. They've got a good read onto this fight, so Soul able to be rezzed, but you've got 2 for Tai Lu in front of you. Looking to maybe get 3 here, but Tungmu again on this flank.
Those shields could be big. Stepping around. Salute manages to get the knock on 1. He's eliminated.
Nice.
Yep, so
Nice.
Gonna have to throw down some smokes and get these reses. The problem for them is gonna be rotating further forward, especially with those mortars raining in.
Let's not forget about LG just quite yet. You can see that going to go ahead and get a knock off the start of this hillside fight. Shrimzy is still alive. He's going to be collapsing in back behind the side of B7. So maybe some more could be had. Luminosity continuing to innovate and find success on this one. They're going to spot out right walking in front of him. And now I don't even know what V7 can do here. Yeah, they're just going to go ahead, get taken down. LG going to continue their rampage as it is going to be, I was going to say Sonics, but they're now gone. And it's going to be Cerberus and Daytrade in front of them.
Yeah, I just love what LG brings to the table on this map. They have such good awareness of the terrain and of the positioning. The way they leapfrog, put other teams in bad spots, capitalize on teams that are in bad spots. Extremely impressive throughout this event.
Okay, something scary for everybody on the leaderboard. We presently have 17 Gaming that's managed to pick up a couple of crates, but they're really far out there to the southeast. They've got Genji as well as Petrichor Road on a gatekeep. If they go into the west, it's going to be LG as well. We'll have to keep an eye on how they opt into rotating. Donovan is starting to be a lot more comfortable up in that northwestern area, so they get a second to breathe. But you can see, this is the rotation that 17 has to make with a very, very hungry Genji with sightlines.
Yeah, there are very few good options here for 17 other than to try to find a third party on an edge or try to make the unbelievable heroic crash onto potentially Peshkor Road, but I think they're going to wrap, try to swing maybe all the way around this circle, potentially use this snowstorm to their advantage, as it is cutting off the entire eastern side.
Well, NH is having the exact same idea. Tiamba's already hunkered down inside of it. Here come the shots coming up from Gen G on to 17, but it's just going to be a firm commitment right up into this one, and these guys are right on top of each other right now. Everybody's just moving in for the rocks that they're going to be aware of, and no! Going to go down. It's a rock firefight. Not up on top of this one, but no vision to be had. He's spotting Mount one by one. Finally goes down.
Xiaobei able to claim a point at the very least. He's the last one alive. Suju trying to scooch over and get rezzed by Xiaobei. Grenades start to rain in. It's EYY from Tiamba that actually scoops up that point. 1 HP for Xiaobei. Is he going to be the snowstorm claims a victim.
Just continuing to drop it all up on top of him. LG is trying to find something going on in southwest. It's going to be on top of Day Trade as well as Cerberus. Big fight for them, trying to find some points to get back up on this leaderboard.
Oh, they'd love to be able to save Flood. Cerberus duking it out with Danawa. High Saki, 4 kills, but he is the not Flash going to finish off Flood as Anonix and the squad looking to barricade and bulldoze. Let's see if they can get it done.
LG up to 9 kills, going to shift up into 6th place, but let's not forget there has been a attack in Cerberus in front of them. Problem for Cerberus though is they've got down on one side, LG on the other, very minimal cover to work around. Now it's just going to be high mass. Never mind, make that Tycon, but you know, never count out Tycon.
No, I know, but he gets caught on the off angle by Mine.
Nice.
Over to LG, who've already got 10 kills in this game.
The climb is real right now. Donowa looking back into this one. New circle going to pop. It is going to be Gen G, Peshkor Road down into the south. It's going to be here on open. Nothing to be had in the center of this one. You can see Tiamba realizing we're about to get sandwiched. We need to move.
No, I love this from Danawa. They know that they really can't take a favorable fight against LG. So let's try to wrap around. Pio there with a nice little shot onto Linshu.
And with those kills, Danawa presently in first place, finally usurping that Twisted Minds lead that they were having to deal with. It is still neck and neck, and do not count out New Happy. There is still a world where they can make a massive climb.
No doubt about it. New Happy's in a decent spot to rake in a lot of points, especially with Tiamba crumbling on their rotation. And here come the grenades now. FaZe wants to have to wait for the train momentarily. You need a ticket for that train, James.
Just gonna go ahead. It's just mobile cover right now, right? It's the best way. You can just run up there, throw something, now reposition off of it. And hey, look, see, more cover yet again. Train doing everybody good. Everybody loves a train.
I love trains, absolutely. Who doesn't? Peshkor Road sharing that compound with Gen G right now, but they found an Aka to Sungjang. He's actually outside the fence line. So gonna have to prone it out. As LG tries to do as much damage as they can. They have a difficult situation in front of them. LG, it's a lot of downhill sloping. There might be some gradual hills and dips that they can find. And if any team in this lobby knows where they are, it's LG.
Yeah, this is going to get more and more difficult by the second. Coming alive over here to the east, but it's going to be a crossfire of problems for them. Tiamba is trying to defend up, but roughly at the same time, FaZe finding a couple of those little poking and prodding shots over into their northwest. So have got to be careful with this one as they're going to stall it out. A lot of smokes being used just to survive here, and that makes me real worried for the late game.
No doubt FaZe 4 up though with a P90 floating around in the mix. I saw a player had one, so FaZe full control over this northern side. They've got a pretty good angle here potentially on top of Danawa. Not much any other team can do about it. They're pretty cut off from the rest of this lobby. This is a pretty straight on fight.
And you know this is a squad that's been paying attention to the kill feed. They know that LG is making a climb, probably neck and neck up with him right now, so they want to pick up some kills. Running this 2-2 split is going to be quite strong, but can we see Soul and the rest of the boys for Danawa defend up off of it? Gonna get some damage out. Nades now starting to come out, and it does look like the initial tempo is going in FaZe's favor, but not quite yet getting what they want.
Ooh, these grenades starting to rain onto Salute. They've identified and isolated his position. And Nonix with a Panzer out on this edge. Feck's going to see him. Grenade does about half damage.
Just slow, steady, and it's going to be actually Gustav getting the knock on a Linshu at range, finding some vision. Jeem's going to go down. Feck's, he's had a star performance so far in this one, but can he find the angle on what they so desperately want? Tiamba really trying to get some outside angles on this, trying to get a flank, trying to get something, but cannot quite get it.
it. I
One-on-one
didn't think there'd be
situation,
any way
anjing pojok
Tiago
kanan
would
kecil
find
guys ya.
an angle to get involved in this fight, but they are. They're making life miserable for FaZe, who
Smoke
thought they could
bilang.
take a straight-up
December,
fight
smoke yang
against
musuhnya
Donowa.
ya.
In the middle of the circle,
Okay,
LG made their move, dashed into the center. There's a bunch of crates
Eh,
dropping
bomnya
down there
mandul,
as
Pio.
well. So somehow,
iya.
some way, LG finds safe space.
And they're trying to hold back Petrichor Road, which is its own independent stall. We also want to point out that Pio is still alive doing Pio things and does manage to take out New Happy. So sometimes it works for the boy.
Yeah, every once in a while, we know that Pio's mechanics are still good. I've seen plenty of it in the PWS, but in this event, he's been relatively quiet. As Gen G's meta style hasn't really suited them here, but Donowa able to use these folding shields to keep FaZe a little more at bay, but Mime gets caught by the molly from Akesleft. Snakers just to his right, Pio right next to him.
Meme sih
I
mateng
don't know
ya.
how much longer this is going to go. Snaker's going to be running out right next to Pio. Gonna hop inside the vehicle, and I think that they're both aware. So
temenan apa gimana nih?
some utility. Snaker's going for some blind sprays into it. Not gonna find anything just yet. Tiamba finally goes down and buys more space for FaZe to work with.
One-on-one mulu nih gue liat nih.
Gonna be contested between them. And it's gonna be Snakers that finds out Pio and takes him down.
Yeah, beautiful stuff here. It has been an absolutely tremendous event for Snakers.
Donowa.
He has been a shining star for his team, but Akesleft is going to claim him, send them out, but a fourth place multi-kill game, huge for LG.
Easy.
Road now getting more aggressive into the north means the fact that we might have a problem for FaZe Clan. They've got Donowa on one side and they've got Petrichor Road on the other. We are still only in phase number 7 yet, so we have to wait and see how these circles are going to pop. Everybody kind of popping the brakes for a second, but all those
3-on-3 situation.
LG was trying to claim. Guess what? Petrichor Road got them all.
FaZe trying to keep this hill under their control. Don't let Donowa get too close. Don't let them get underneath your noses. If you can prevent that, Gustav with that off angle potentially could play spoiler as well. But Soul's right up here. Correxy, is he going to read it? Soul's going to explode. He's got the knock.
Good read on that one. Now gonna start dancing around new angles and Nonix wanting to make sure to flush that one out.
Masih ada. Uy, kalah dia. Uy.
Gonna get eliminated. Petrichor Road to the southeast.
Colong nggak?
Dia jauhkan lagi Donowa poin Donowa.
It's beautiful teamwork from Donowa that gets the job done, and Soul uses the grenade to obscure his to get that first round. They are in a position to potentially put themselves well ahead of the rest of this lobby.
Twisted Minds, they got that opening game but couldn't quite get it. Now 10 points ahead for Donowa. Can they navigate this last bit? Those 7 kills on both of these squads, 3 members up on both sides. Donowa has been more compressed, but the circle is going to favor both squads and kind of lean into a no man's land, a little bitty valley between maybe a recess of about, what, 5 meters or so?
It's not far. You're absolutely right. I do see that AWM for Akesleft could have a big role to play, plus that level 3 gear. That makes things so much more difficult for Donowa. And you just have to imagine, Donowa's been fighting tooth and nail for the last couple of circles. What's the utility look like? How much are they able to scrape off of FaZe, who invested quite a bit to try to knock Donowa out of this lobby unsuccessfully?
Akesleft's feeling it. 5 kills right now on him, by himself.
Backupan Peru sih Lutan ya.
He's going to be
Masa ya kan, gak kalah.
trying to exploit the tools that he has available to him. Ming going to be the point man, getting very, very close to the center of the circles. Center control does favor Petrichor Road, but the Wolfpack mindset of Donowa, they have the lineup, they're looking for a pick. They just can't find it though.
And look at this, Akesleft opting to drop the AWM for a Panzer. Thinks that that's going to be a little more useful.
Betul, lu sih Bit, lu sih. Kurang banget Morbid.
Superstars on both sides. Soul sitting at 5 kills in and of himself. This is a battle for overall supremacy. These two been back so many times this event and really can put a nail in the coffin of this performance. Petrichor Road needing Clement just a couple of points back behind LG. This could get them in touching range if they can manage to secure it. But this very wide flank coming up from Akesleft could be a problem.
Akesleft with 5 kills of his own to match the superstar for Donowa. Both of these players
minta Akesleft ini nggak sih?
Banyak banget. Coming into the day was the kill leader, might still be, I think, absolutely after this game for sure is still the kill leader in this lobby. Just tremendous the way he's able to just annihilate people quick and efficiently. Some are getting the information here, going to be watching Donowa to try to set up this play around this northern flank.
the other 14 teams right now all rooting for Petrichor Road, hoping the fact that they can find some vulnerability in what Dana was trying to do with the defensive line for now, because that could provide something. Twisted Minds maybe catch up. New Happy to maybe find something of themselves to do. 17 Gaming moving into their map. They don't want to be this far behind, but can we see Soul get the knock?
And look at this, they set a smoke up onto the western angle to try to fool Danawa, to try to bait them into not thinking that there's going to be players rotating from the other way, but some shots are starting to ring out from Left and Ming. So a little quick to it, and Onyx going to hop in a vehicle, and he's just moving it for a little bit of protection. I thought he might make a move.
Jangan sampai mati kamu di kiri itu ya.
Ming, keep prodding over there, keep trying to find something.
Engkorin bang, ayo bang engkorin.
Getting an idea on how heavy it's going to be creeping in.
Tapi ngelut dia.
Close range fight. Exlif has been spotted Soul, but that means that Salut's going to have that information. Creeping over.
Uy, Danawa.
Exlif gonna instantly finds one.
Nice. Ragu gitu. Gebrak meja.
And Onyx on a sliver of health, just barely able to best X-Left.
Jangan di pep. Heal.
And Onyx
Gak ada healan.
Wih. Soul on one side, Summer on the other. Hill in between them. They are fighting this one out right on the edge of the blue zone. Soul can't get to read just quite yet. Spots up.
Uy. Danawa.
Destiny, and Soul does it again, looking to claim yet another.
Lah, gua bener nih, another team guys, tumben nih. Gebrak meja.
Unbelievable fight. What an awesome setup both of these teams had. Both playing brilliantly, but just barely. Danawa able to come through with it, and Danawa able to capitalize. He's getting third party so well.
Look at that.
Wih, tumben guys. Cair guys, tumben nih. Biasanya salah mulu pikan mulu.
17 api rank 4. Nggak usah kasih EP. Nggak usah kasih EP.
Batu.
Nggak usah kasih EP.
Kayak bocah SD anjing.
Bapi. Gila ini Seol ya.
Lebih ke tenang sih dia, pelornya dikit banget tadi dah.
Iya.
Seberapa ya tadi ya?
30/20 berapa tadi gitu tuh.
Oh,
gila damage dia paling tinggi tapi.
Oh iya 30/20-an. Emang dia kagak nembak aja tadi.
Donna wins another one as they come out with a chicken dinner, our fourth match of the day. And I gotta be honest, as we take a look back at these highlights, Soul has made a bold statement. I think I know who I'm voting for when it comes to
kuncinya sih Twist mati dulu ya. Kebetulan 3 round jadi NPC dia. Diburu anjing.
Keren ya ini.
Anjing.
Thoroughly enjoying our Tagos and Vikendis because those extra curveballs, that unknown territory and terrain that these players are faring through, that they probably never had to play in such a stacked lobby before, is just making it so entertaining to watch. So yeah, it's been lovely. And also the way that Dana on the western side, the amount of control that they had, they're going in and out, the pressure and the poking on these teams are just crucial for their win, because that meant that FaZe went
kalau abis ini Danawa chicken lagi berarti fix mas juara dunia. Ya tergantung lah. This is Battle Royale sih. Tak ada yang tak mungkin yang terlahir.
You know, to be honest, as a broadcaster, I want to see it super close going into the final. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe this is where Donovan gets caught out. Maybe this is where Donovan gets dropped. But they played so well, inch after inch. It doesn't matter how many inches it was. They're going to find the space. They're going to find a way to go the distance. They're hyped. You know, it's funny because when you see them in the morning, when you see them honestly, most beat defeater, like, oh, it's going to be a tough day today. They come in with that mentality.
Kita lihat poin-poin habis ini poin.
Show up and they know how to win. They were favorites for a lot of this tournament. They're proving why they deserved that.
Wah, iya nge-DJ Pi.
And that was a hell of a match.
It was, and of course Danawa here looking for their first
iya nge-DJ Pi.
course, through
Nge
the members,
DJ,
they're fantastic
nge-DJ
at
apa
Nations
nih?
Cup, and they're able to take it
Upi
home
nih,
to
Upi
Korea.
lagi
But
manggung.
this is what all the
Yes.
players in PUBG are looking for, to take
Si paling
a PGC
siang nge-DJ,
championship.
siang
Put your
nge-DJ
name in
lu.
the game.
Put your name in
Imo,
the game.
mission
Keep
ime ya?
yourself on I mean, there's not many teams
Iya,
that are
Naruto lagi,
immortalized
Naruto
in the
nih.
Hall of Champions. Donawa
Gua takut
rapidly
jerok gua
pushing
kalau
down that
nonton
road.
itu.
Let's take a look at the top 4 phase. This was another game where I thought maybe
Kecil
this is
aja,
the
kasih
one.
kecil.
Maybe this is where you get back
Emang udah
into
kasih
it.
kecil sih,
Luminosity,
cuman udahlah
same
jangan
thing.
lah.
They had to dig deep to get some
Oh, iya.
points, but
Tayangnya
ultimately
di-
the points fall the way of Donawa.
Maksudnya ini
Winda
ya?
Sadubara.
Yeah, and of course, yes, so
Coba.
6 kills,
Aman kali ya?
800
Kalau
damage.
Bang Windah ya kan.
Loki,
Aman.
you know, of course, going out early
Tiketnya
is-
katanya
it's
di bawah
unfortunate, but he's able to
50.000 katanya.
contribute in-
Yeah.
in many ways also, so of course,
Tiket
not
nonton
to manage
motion
there.
image.
Salute though. He
Kok
has
lagi
had a
burik banget ini?
fantastic showing throughout. So once again, they'll man of the match.
Karena ini toh lampu. Lampu nggak sih? Di sinar lampu nih. Terus ada layar.
Tapi emang jadi burik kan jatuhnya?
Iya.
As far as players go too, I love this for him. Like he is always positive,
Hit-nya kocak
to
nih,
talk,
kena.
supportive of his teammates, and seems to really just
Pecah,
love the idea
katanya.
of
Pecah.
playing PUBG and being able to have fun. Like this is his game, and so seeing him do well is always encouraging. Let's take a look at the match.
Ini dia Geralt sama David Beat bukan?
Iya. Itu Geralt yang duduk sama Jijo. Beat yang pakai jaket apa ya? Bomber.
It's not over. There's 2 games left, but that's going to be tough.
Siapa tamu rahasianya yang burem?
Second to 7, 16 points difference. And we're talking
Ardito kah ini?
but hundreds of thousands
Lebih
of
ke-
dollars in difference
nggak
from
kedengeran sih.
second to 7. So that is
Wih, Danawa
Apip.
134 bit.
kind of hope that we're going to see them
Apip
slow
toh.
down a little bit, but
Apip.
Danawa goes home and wins
Gak
it.
mungkin
Apip
anjing.
main gitar sekarang.
That is so
Apip
well
mulet sih palanya nggak mungkin ya.
The problem with the second through 7th being
Danawa tapi bis. Ayo bis, pelan-pelan. Danawa.
Ini live-nya pakai HP ya? Susah lah. Rebutan sinyal nggak sih kalau pakai HP, guys?
Iya, betul.
Adalah ini mah gue ngelihat jejak digital aja udah ntar.
if we don't stop these guys, they're going to be running away with it.
Jelek banget
I
gambarnya.
guarantee you,
Iya,
in our
lagi
last 2 matches, it's
hancur-hancurnya
going to be
itu.
the same with Danawa. They're going to feel the pressure. If we see a knock, they're going to get hunted.
They're going to get hunted.
Is
And when
this
we come back after this
done?
break, it's the last 2 matches of the
Babi gue
grand
ya.
final. You need to be here. Don't go
Dan
anywhere.
habis.
PGC.
Kan 17 sama NH ya?
17 NH ya.
5.
Aman pis, nanti lah
Teraton setan.
rank 3 lah, rank 3 lah. Aman lah pis.
Rank 3. 50.000 EP aja kau.
Iya, aman aja.
Jangan tanggung, Cok. Penting dapat cengnik udah tuh, udah.
Kan
Emang dapat ya,
berapa?
Kan dapat nonton Twitch.
Nonton Twitch kan
Nonton
dapat
Twitch
60.000
dapat
total.
30.000, 10.000
Nonton
kemarin.
Twitch ID satu lagi gendut yang dapat cari kode. Nah,
Oh.
ID satu lagi pasti dapat cengnik itu. Karena kan udah 60.000 tambah yang pick M apa tuh kan.
Iya, iya.
Pick'em versus itu ya.
Kalau kuponnya enggak usah diharapkan. Teraton 5 di situ kuponnya.
Turu anjing tipe.
Danawir.
Danawir.
Danawa juara apa lagi kemarin, Bit?
Apa?
Danawa juara apa lagi kemarin?
PNC 3 player.
Oh, PNC 3 player. Anjing, nyayur.
Lupa siapa gua yang nggak main. Si Salut main ya?
Berarti Seoul itu juga main nih.
Seoul main. Mana nih Korea. Seoul Loki Inonic Heaven dari V7. Ya si Salut nggak main.
มันไม่ง่าย
Ding
Toke
nung.
Noi.
Menai. Toke Noi.
Toke Noi. Toke Noi. Iya, match 5 siap-siap, Mas, katanya. Tuh siap-siap, Bit. Gua nggak jago ngetik, guys, gua jadi mager.
Danawa.
Woi, kok udah login kau?
Biar teman-teman gua aja yang cepet-cepet ngetik kompe, guys ya.
Biar anak muda aja, anak muda.
Tapi emang gua nyentuh keyboard tuh kagak bisa ngetik anjing sebenarnya.
Apa?
Lambat anjing ngetik di keyboard. Gue nyentuh keyboard tuh WASD doang, Bit. Jarang dipakai buat gawe atau buat tapi
Gua
skripsi
tangan
gitu
kiri
jarang.
WASD, kelingkingnya di 1 kalau ngetik. Udah ready.
Nice.
Tangan kanannya JKLOPM 098.
Agak banyak ya tangan kanan ya.
Iya.
Kok kadang-kadang nge-like juga otak gua baca kode itu, Dun.
Iya, tadi
Iya
aku
kan?
like. Hah? Oh, langsung tetek hapus. Ketik lagi. Ada lah, Bos, pasti, Bos.
Kadang nge-like anjing udah keluar kode muncul anjing baru ketik.
Total price pool sekarang 2,300 juta.
2,300 juta tuh gimana sih, Bit?
2 juta.
Suka dia aja
2,305.
Suka koelan, Dun.
Di mana lihat Bit?
Liquid ya?
Lihat di ini. Enggak, di overview di in-game.
Anjing Liquidpedia gua tuh langsung otomatis Nando anjing playernya.
Gila.
Anjing Nando nih deh.
Udah player 5M dia sekarang. Wop,
Iya.
Anang sudah datang. Apa kau Anang? Setan kau.
Welcome bro. Namanya dikit doang Bit ya? 2.300.000
Iya, 300 itu doang ya? 300.000 doang ya? Nggak nyampe sejuta kayak tahun kemarin.
Anjing juara.
Arti dikit orang yang beli baju PGC tahun ini.
Ya belinya di apa, Cok? Di skin impor. Skin yang itu Bit.
Skin apa?
Skin
Progresif ini.
Iya,
Lagi
progresif.
banyak itu orang belanja sekarang.
Iya.
Oh, iya. Salah dia berarti ya.
Salah. Harusnya
Orang
itu
habis-
keluar setelah PGC nggak sih?
Betul.
Ah, iya betul.
Atau emang sengaja kayak gue nggak ikhlas lah kalau buat player ya kan? Dikeluar dulu ya kan skinnya. Ananda makasih dari join.
Saya berangkat ya kan.
Amin.
Amin.
Pas banget Okto juga berangkat katanya.
Pas. $600.000 sih juara 1 ya. Masa nggak terinspirasi sih, Bit?
Iya sih.
Kapan lagi langsung dapat 1M instan, Bit? Ya kan?
Potong player 5 lah.
Iya, kan ini 600 itu kan sekitar
10%.
9M-an ya kan, 10M kurang lah. 5M foya-foya 1M buat pribadi nabung sih mantep sih. Foya-foyanya setengahnya ini.
Itu sekarang player Danawa tuh kayak se-M kayaknya. PNC sama itu. PNC kemarin 200.000. Tambah ini PGC berapa?
Tapi kalau lolos PGC Dut berhenti aku kerja kayak Dut berhenti aku kerja langsung.
Iyalah siapa yang nggak berhenti kerja anjing?
Berhenti cabut.
Duit udah
anjing,
pasti,
gitu.
gaji udah pasti. Tinggal ini aja apa? Tidur, main, makan, tidur, main, makan.
Sama hujatan-hujatan netizen nanti. Nah, itu
Iya.
aja.
Nanti palingan buat konten olahraga dah.
Kok PNC nggak masuk ke complete turnamen sih?
Apa? Udah
PNC.
selesai lama kan?
Iya.
Iya.
236.000 anjing.
Ya siap-siap nih, siap-siap boys.
Settingan RM anjing.
Hari hilang Cok. Oh, $800.000.
Apa
Total
tuh?
mereka kalau juara. Kalau juara PGC ini
Nambah 200 berarti.
nambah 600. Kan 200 PNC, 600
Oh iya
PGC.
iya. Kira lah dari yang ini dari yang donasi
Beli baju PGC 200 juta dolar.
20 juta dolar. Gimana 200 juta dolar?
200.000 bro, Morbid.
200.000 kurang 200 juta, 200.000. Salah Bang, salah.
Pembagiannya
Nggak
berapa?
sabar nih match 5.
Match 5. Match 5 deng.
Oh, udah keluar Renggal.
Ini first skill ya? Apa gimana sih? Tergantung
matilah satu timnya langsung
langsung bakuan tepagi.
Langsung aja lo kau. Lama kali.
Guys, orang-orang tusun aja minimal $10.000 guys ya. Orang tusun.
140 juta juga ya, 150 juga tuh Mas.
Iya. Yang ente banget sih yang 17 sih memang. Peringkat 17 sih agak-agak ya.
26 ke 31.
Iya, agak jauh gitu, lumayan 5.000.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, this is a team to be feared out in the open, and let's say we get a center circle somewhere near Picado. You know, they're gonna have priority on
potong manajemen bang, jangan lupa ya. Potong manajemen. Ingat.
Potong manajemen, potong turnamen.
Manajemen kan rata-rata 30% tuh. Kalau yang anu banget gocap anjing.
Zonanya fase, cok. Ini zona yang kemarin. Dia chicken.
Ya bersih-bersihnya setiap orang 1,2 M lah ya kan.
Emang enak kita ya mikirin mereka ya.
Mikirin duit orang. Seru banget
di rumah.
Ini biar yang keluar Latam duluan apa Bit?
Thailand dulu.
Ananda makasih dari Joy.
Nggak tahu miminnya lupa atau disengajain aku. Jadi nonton di Thailand dulu agak-agak. Misalnya abis timnya eliminate tuh langsung abis tulisan first team kill tuh ada langsung muncul kodenya. Kalau nggak muncul langsung pindah ke Latam.
Di Thailand dia emang sengaja diituinin.
Iya kan nanti lagi perang dimunculkan nama dia.
Moderatornya dia bilang sama yang aku tahu 5.000 kuning dari moderator Latam.
Tapi Danawa nggak sih?
Danawa sih. Aduh, terlalu jago Danawa, cok. Lu jangan terlalu ke Danawa, Pis. Twistnya aja, suruh tusun ntar kan naik ke peringkat 2 ya kan. Realistis dulu. Baru kalau udah peringkat 2 berharap peringkat satunya yang tusun. Gitu kan Bit ya? Beda 17 sih.
Generally and kind of in that Milta mini facility area somewhere southwest of that, and that kind of open, slightly hilly terrain. Positions for LG and phase early, I suspect.
Yang dicarbosarin malah gua pick Danawa.
As you can see that yes, Danawa is in first now, but it was
Kalau kayak gak ikhlas gitu sih ngepick bener.
Bantai di last stand doang.
Making this wrap very very early are going to be cutting right
side. NH dong, NH nih stabil dia.
Too much, but the split they might
be stabil.
And just in case you guys are wondering, spray from Jeems not doing much, but the point system, if you're just tuning into PUBG Esports, you can see in the right-hand corner of your screen, it explains our point system. 10 points for first place, 6 for second, and then you go a point down to 6, and then 1 point for 7th and 8th, and you get a point for each kill. So that's why these teams do things like go for kills if they're maybe on the outside of the circle looking in, try to take fights, stuff like that. Really important part of the PUBG Esports ecosystem.
PO is going to go ahead and get landfall, and the rest of the team's going to be following in back behind this. This also does mean that LG is probably going to collapse a bit more to the south and open up the northern part of Milta Power for those
random banget tuh bang, jadi Gran Turismo.
Game kau tuh apa kasih tahu?
Danawa has moved all the way over to Lipo with 2 of their members, as the other 2 are still over in Yas 9. It does look like they're eyeing that eastern approach.
Net for Speed Carbon,
and I'm not exactly sure how far to get. It just kind of depends on what the other teams do. Danawa's going to be very diligent here. It's going to be a lot of pressure on the Onyx as the IGL and as that front man, as that information gatherer to make sure that their space is clear. 17 cutting in fairly early, well ahead of Twisted Minds, G7.
Anbon sebelum Anbon apa sama juga kayak Anbon tuh.
Pachinki itself to get his loot still, make sure that he's good to go and geared up. Maybe load up a vehicle with some extra panzers and some things like that, or mortars potentially, as they make their way up to the Lumberyard Hill.
Okay, so Now we can see that
Oh,
Suju's going to go ahead and
next
he's gonna
mid
go ahead
for
and get some
speed,
information
hit,
with his
hit.
body and seeing how many people are about to be shooting at him. It looks like FaZe has already spotted him out.
Apa tuh?
17 are still cresting up to the top of Lumberyard itself, so they should be okay with that one. Twisted Minds are also going to be coming in back behind this one. No real obstacles as everybody is just kind of committed into Lumberyard and that coastline.
Yep, actually Suju with the E pickup went all the way to the very southern tip
Detik berapa toh?
of the Milta area.
34,
southeast of
35,
Milta. And he's now parachuting. I'm really curious. What
01,
astaga. Maybe this was to map out who's all in what compounds below them, since they don't have that information. Whenever you come into Lumberyard, it can be really dangerous. Here specifically, the shifts down in the south, you don't know what already is claimed. So instead, they can get to this hillside, and it might have cost them a odd spot.
Tujuannya paling apa ya? Paling apa namanya?
Ricky, makasih udah join membership.
I've never seen this.
Paling
in
menang nggak sih
17.
di 17?
This is really unorthodox. This is
Health-nya
digging deep
iya.
into the playbook to find a way to
Cakcop,
climb.
baru ngecek gue tadi. Kagak ikut juga lagi guys. Wah, ditepu orang tua gue guys. Kacau.
Sekali emosi 200 tapi dia bang deh.
Hari-hari ditepu gua.
Udah ngamuk dia 200 langsung.
Problem with it is you're putting yourself right between FaZe and LG, who also just want a massive game here.
And FaZe doesn't want to give up those compounds on that
seluruh
edge
player
on the edge of the
PGC.
city
Mari,
because
kalau
those are
sekali
good
emosi
pivot
dia.
positions. So yeah, again, sometimes in these circles, the edges of the cities are where a lot of teams want to play because it gives them safety, reconnaissance ability, and the opportunity to keep vehicles safe and make moves.
Well, making moves and keeping vehicles safe is going to be a bit harder as now V7 is
Mana
going to cut right in front of
hantamnya
Donovan
nih?
while they were making this approach, and Onyx is going to go ahead and spot
Lu nyari
that one
first
out,
kill kan?
playing the position you were talking about just one moment
Yo,
ago. See if they're going to go ahead and play
first
along
team.
the peninsula
First
itself.
kill
They
apa
might
first
stop at a
team
couple
sih?
of the compounds or go
First team,
into
first team.
Milta Power
Oh, first
itself.
team kill.
Tyloo,
kill itu
one of our
match satu.
T1 teams, not going to find a bridge camp over here, so going to be very, very happy about that one.
Tapi itu yang
New
kecil.
Happy do manage to make
Cikoin.
Yo,
a
400.
position shift just to their west.
Ini dengar-dengar 10.000 bit.
Tiamba and T5
Wih.
are odd teams out as day trade is still down in
50.000 apa?
Swagger nih.
New Happy trying to contest.
Ini. Ini aduh.
Taking CC down, looking for the
Nggak
grenade.
keinsan, nggak
CC
keinsan.
there, is it going to be good enough? Non takes a
Aman,
headshot
bro.
as well. The grenade
Wah.
hits
Anjing,
CC,
masuk.
doesn't get the flush.
Gets a nice solid air burst on it. Shin. Looks like he's got
Rangkak,
another one on that
merangkak.
toss. You have to see
Kena,
how the
nggak
bounces
kena.
go for it. Doesn't go the way that he wants. But you can see Tyloo now
Ayun ha.
firmly lining up over here, realizing the fact that they have an opportunity to go for some more kills in it. Not trying to go in here. Go for this, just
Whoop.
That's going to put a big
Whoop.
break onto this one. Can he get a
Pegang,
little bit of
pegang,
time to
pegang,
raise his
pegang.
teammate?
Lambat
Loses it
jalan.
right back behind him.
Ya.
Just now. The second one, though.
Mulai kah?
The staggering
Mulai kah?
and the utility
Mulai kah?
here
Udah
so
penting,
brilliant
penting
for
kodenya mulai.
Tyloo. The
Kodenya
blue
penting.
zones push New
Belum,
Happy
belum.
back, and the grenades are perfectly at the edge of that.
Bentar lagi nih,
So
bentar
well
lagi nih.
set up.
He's going to venture in. Ming needs to make something big, keep his teammates up and alive right now. You can see Nan still just limping away. Luckily, though, they at least have a fortified position they can play for now. Unfortunately, also
NH lagi stabil-stabilnya jerok di awan.
Cerberus
Gede.
continues
Oh,
to
they see
just play spoiler for Twisted Minds off screen. Ming gonna wrap around to the
Waduh, ada
backside,
Sonic
trying to cover
belakangnya
the
tuh.
angles as best as he can. And look who it is. It's the Sonics. They're gonna be watching this.
Aduh,
Kickstart's got a bolt.
I mean, they can see all these smokes down there, aware that something
Dedek
big is happening
Sonic
over here.
nih,
Looks like Ming
ikut-ikut,
is already
Dedek
going to get in the
Sonic.
vehicle in time to kind of crest away from it. As Shin now
Salah
looks
salah
like he's
tuh.
getting pretty
Madep.
aggressive in on this one. Tyloo really wants this one.
Sen udah
Ming
di
is going
rooftop
to
aja,
go down
Cok.
right as soon as he managed to crest
Wah,
in, but
bawa-bawanya
Shin up
sudah
on
nih.
top
Bit,
is just
siapin.
weathering any form of movement right now. Nan's going to be dancing around through the
Masih
outside
dua,
of this
masih ada
one.
dua,
Sonic's
aman,
not
aman,
going to
aman.
get too invested in it, so this is
Ah.
Ya, elah Bit.
Shin's high ground.
Bentar lagi Bit, bentar lagi.
A brilliant move from Shen. Non doing what he
Aduh.
can. His great points together. He gets
Nah, ini, Bit.
He's finally taken
Langsung
down.
prepare.
Tyloo has sent New Happy, the third place team, packing.
This is such a strong fragging squad. We know that
Apa tuh?
Tyloo, whenever they
Ki
get their feet
Air.
underneath them,
Kok
can find
nggak
some really
agak nggak
big
kelihatan sih?
successes here. Question is, how much more of a climb can they make in and of themselves? Kickstart really wanting to get some more damage.
Sengaja ya?
Maybe even
Agak
get that knock.
diburum-burumin
Doesn't
gitu ya?
quite get it, so Sonic's going to be unofficially gatekeeping down over here next to the bridge.
He made a body shot in there too. That was nice piece of shooting for Kick. Just a few inches higher, and he might have been able to find a head and get a knock on a Tyloo. Sonics tried
Ya
to
Allah,
throw it
ada.
inside, but Shen
Kurang fast bang. Yang lain. Latam, Thailand.
Thailand udah keluar dia.
Udah keluar.
Udah.
Ya Allah.
Latam juga ente.
Sampai jumpa tahun depan.
Sampai jumpa.
PGC 2024. Nanti ada G-Coin di Pilpres guys, tenang aja.
Waduh,
aman.
Tidak dapat
50. You do have Petrichor Road, who's pushed far enough towards the lumberyard.
Mereka lebih kencang cok sekarang anjing. 5.000 G-Coin ini. 400 tadi bodo amat mereka.
From the Milton area all the way back up here. Unbelievable.
400 malah 2 kali aku dapat.
Saking santainya Bit.
5.000.
Nice. Danawa.
17.
Kind of took the spot here, and here comes Daytrade. I saw them going for the.
Wah, jadi tai dah ini mah.
They are under fire from like 3 different angles.
But it's going to be all about this defensive line for LG. Mine's going to go down. Good play.
Tenang lah, paling nggak dapat kita cok.
We didn't get there in time. We've got to surrender it.
This is crazy stuff.
ini salah keluarnya klub sama anjing.
Something being available, and they caught Mime as a solo.
Sama Latam juga.
On his own.
Siapa tadi coba?
Sama Latam juga Latam.
Cepat juga Cok. Latam.
To their southwest, right on top of the 3-man stack of LG.
Cepat binatang orang.
Tried to go for
Binatang, yang 5.000 ini binatang semua.
Genji still running a 2-2 split.
Orang-orang pakai AI kali.
Iya ada tuh, lu mau lihat
AI.
tuh.
We'll have to see what's going to be going on. Daytrade having their members finished out is
Yang bisa dicopas gitu
orang
anjing.
pakai auto gitu tuh.
Entirely unresable in his
Pasti ada nggak sih?
Puchel's at least going to be able to get res now, and we'll have to see is V7 and their pathing just going to be
Mana ya? Oh di hari mana?
Jadi dukung nomor berapa? Danawa. 17. Itulah. NH ini disuruh siapa itu biar buka kode G-Coin? Apa? Chat siapa? Embot.
There's a little bit of space here for Glass. Glass often goes a point man or a reconnaissance man for V7. Oh no.
Just picks him off.
Embot lagi kena vulkanik gitu di sana dia. Lagi berjuang.
Going to be cresting into the absolute worst section of this one. You can see
erupsi kok vulkanik. Erupsi.
Emang di mana dia?
Instead repositioning around.
Tinggi.
Have it on one side of it. Glass
Lagi meletus.
something here. He's already up there, but Molotov's going to go ahead and block him out entirely. Low ground. Heaven has got to defend him right now, but Chewy is going to be dancing around. Knows exactly where he is. V7 needs to get a knock in the worst way right now and just not going to be able to find it. He's going to go down. Now Glass just holding down the top of this.
Yeah, Chewy found the perfect timing now, right? As having
Drop!
They know he's in that back. That's an easy cleanup for Petrichor Road.
Makin berserak dia.
They're kind of creeping up here. That would say that they're not full sprinting, just sending one member up to see if they can find something. Not going to find it just quite yet. Blue zone is coming in, so about another 20 seconds, and we'll see where the next set of chaos is going to take us.
2 game lagi dah.
Hoping it's going to stay Lumberyard.
Absolutely. And Lumberyard finishes are super fun to watch. There's so much to work with in the top of that mountain. Twisted Minds, there was a knock they suffered earlier, but for now, they're okay. Cerberus still controlling the northwest corner of Milta, keeping them in check.
Where we going? Circles, how mean are you? You're going to stay, keep a
Ya,
bit of shelter
pero
in play.
lumayan
As
sih,
that is
panas.
kind of more of a no man's
Nggak
land.
2 match
That area
doang
doesn't
sebenarnya dari
necessarily
kemarin.
have to
Peace,
cover. It just
peace,
means that
peace,
these guys
peace.
that are going to be down to the south, most notably Gen G, going to have to
Ah,
find
udah
some
hilang
path
habis
in
dah
this.
dapat
Gen G
main-main
has
dia
just
dah.
been moving all over the place this game.
Yeah, Gen G just trying to find something that works.
Jerok.
Tycon
Lang,
rips
Shrimzy.
Shrimzy out of the vehicle, and he is out of this
Lah,
round.
dicolong.
Sonic's trying to make a mad dash up towards maybe this rock ledge, or maybe even further if they can get it. But look who it is. It's 17 right on their doorstep.
Ooh, Sonics, you might have gone a bit further than you wanted to.
let's go,
Suju's gonna go ahead and find H1 against knocked
Seventeen.
into it. Nate's
Nice,
gonna go right
nice.
down
Let's
in that
go.
copy. You can see Sonics are
Lah,
like,
dicolong
no,
siapa?
they
Dua
ain't
nggak sih
too much
17?
longer.
Biar kita cair tuh
Kick
1, 2, 3
taking
nih.
some damage.
Iya, iya.
Kevin
Turunin.
pressed around this
Tapi
as he
dicolong,
got
Bit,
back
anjing
down
tadi.
into Milta. No, kick is gonna go down. Joe is gonna go ahead and find him. And now Tiggleton all by his lonesome.
The kill was stolen though.
Ah, udah pedang dia dah.
They're at least able to get
I
that one.
love
Ya
They're actually
ampun.
for
Oh,
Shao
ada
Wu.
Moji, Bo.
Thought the other one might have been taken by somebody else, but actually it is going to be 2
Tiggleton
points.
sih
going
makin
over to
demam
17.
guys ini.
Desperately needed points. Again, this
Mana
team
lagi
on
demam ya
Arendelle
dia?
Kemarin pakai Baby Fever siapa ya?
2-2 split even this deep into phase 3.
Tinggalin kan ya?
Very impressive.
17 needs to have the two best angles of their life to be in this one, and this is a squad that can do it. LG realizing the fact that they're the odd squad out, they're just going to be sending it in. They're going to stop a bit earlier. Keep in mind, this is their backyard. They're pretty used to playing around over here. Problem is, not a lot of cover, as it is going to be Cerberus that is just going to be raining down bullets on top of them. And I mean, not too much more they can really do, as it is going to be Cerberus off of one angle. I think FaZe also was taking some shots. Yeah, this is just, what do you do, man?
Yeah, no, there's about 3 different teams crisscrossing bullets right on top of LG, and it's going to be Ross who finds another 2 kills in the bag for Space Station Gaming. And they are going to end Luminosity's game. Potentially good circle for them, but it Western shifted away from their positions. They tried to rotate into danger. Speaking of rotating into danger.
Yeah, Genji wants to go to north of this one, and now has the rampage, though, is it is going to be beautiful. It's not on 7-7. He's got the rock prep that he can play for right now, but the rest of Tiamba cresting in hard to contain. Problem is, Dala and Petrichor won't both hear this.
Pio never heard Pow Pow coming. DG not able to spot him in time to relay the information over. Pow Pow cooking a grenade. That's going to back DG off. Sungjong responding with some grenades of his own. Esther going to be cleaned up here. But DG responds.
Ya, ade-adean.
Genji package.
Chewy's up here for Petrichor Road, seeing if he can get some more.
Setingkat Gen Gold anjing. Beserak anjing.
Kemarin tuh dia lolos tuh.
It's just going to cement our future that much more.
Harusnya siapa yang lolos?
Essen kan? Getting very close, potentially within grenade range. The Reds did just come through. Circle's going to go close to Lumberyard in the northeast corner of the Lumberyard. Remains, more towards the Milta direction. So Cerberus control over a really powerful spot on the northern side of the city proper. Danoa's got to be careful. They're in the low ground underneath Tiamba. This fight's going to have to kick off very well in their favor if they're going to make it happen.
And they're still going to have to shift back after Petrichor Road. I wouldn't be surprised if they just commit in and try to get these points, so that way they can have something, make sure that they're securing some type of points moving in, because after this it's going to get a lot more precarious for them to try to navigate. Multiple teams could be gatekeeping out. Salut's already going to get spotted. Their backup plan is already now gone. Daytrade needing to make their move into the circles. We just see Tyler. They were just shifting in. They got spotted just a moment ago. So we have the Milta fields just north of it that are going to be available. Yes, here we go. Donovan wants to get something, but now revealed it is going to be Tiamba shifting away from this pretty fast.
Supply plus kompe udah berapa? 30.000.
He threw a grenade expecting
Supply
them to try
nggak
to repeat that
semahal
angle,
itu sih,
but instead
yang goceng biasanya.
to grab their vehicles and try to make a dash for the circle itself, because I think they know that Danoa is pretty well gate kept by Petrichor.
Supply apa nih
Seeing
maksudnya
that
nih?
knock on a salute in the kill feed earlier means that
Supply
things
yang per
much
season.
more challenging
Oh iya,
for
15
Danoa. They're
itu.
going to have to find a way to either swing around Petrichor Road or fight right
Total
through them. And now
udah
Tiamba finds a good angle to
Alhamdulillah
harass
berarti
their exit.
13.000 itu sekitar berapa dolar tuh?
Can you do here? You need to get a knock on a Pow Pow specifically.
20 lah.
That's your angle of approach.
100 lah, anggap 100.
Tapi 13.000 ini nggak ada rasa bagi gue. Udah habis aja.
Soalnya head on.
Head
on gacha, bro. Kalau lu saving cuman buat battle pass terus nggak bakal habis itu duit. Bener.
Tapi kan ada limit sebulan tuh.
Iya, kalau itu angka permanen gitu ya. Emang disuruh head on mau gimana ya kan?
Kayak ini nanti gua
event
win 130.000 anjing di koinnya.
Nah kalau itu permanen tuh, bukan permanen sih. Biasanya durasinya 5 tahun bit. Dikasihnya.
Iya ada durasi 5 tahun.
Itu pertanda tutup lah PUBG 2028.
Tapi ini tuh hidup nih mas nih. Matiin lah.
Aduh Danawa tidak.
Danawa sih mati.
Aduh.
Udah marah slap.
The good news for Danoa is they might not feed a point over, I suppose. Not the end of the world if it goes to Petrichor Road though.
Keul dapat sih flank jauh nih.
Soul is going to be using every single map that he has to try to circumnavigate Petrichor Road's position. Pow Pow now getting involved, harassing Petrichor Road's backside. And that might buy Soul just enough space to squeak in, but I don't know.
Oh man, it's going to be close. Summer's already shifting over here if he
Gila,
spots it. Just like Ming as well, they realized, okay, somebody's probably navigating this one on the outside. Ming's going to go ahead and spot out Loki, take him down as well.
Nah, Seolnya aman sih.
Might have a vision of what's going on with Summer, but it's also going to be Tiamba. Now coming alive over here, realizing a very aggressive Petrichor road might be exploitable, but Sol does get the knock on his
See if he can get the point. The
Instan
grenade
Jrok.
right next to Summer does about half damage.
Harus dapat,
If he can
harus
get the
dapat.
follow up next to him. He's got a few more to go to get that much needed point.
Ming's trying to provide some reinforcement. You can see throwing down utility, can't quite get it to go the way that he wants just quite yet. Now peeking out, has managed to spot out Sol. Sol drops down to his belly, but just narrowly gets that one. It's going to be an exchange between the two. Tight angle for Ming.
Wah.
Panas X-Lab udah, Cok. Habis kalah tadi.
Tidak.
Not able to cement
17.
slightly
17.
lead for Donovan over Twisted Minds, who is a safe on the
Masih ada backup lah.
so there could be some catch
Who
up
wins?
in this game.
17. Waduh, 17 kill lah. Masa nggak 17 ya kan?
The lobby working right now to really help out Twisted Minds. We still have a couple more very dangerous approaches as FaZe needs to make their way up to the north. Cerberus needs to try to regroup. Daytrain being kept out by, it looks like Space
Boleh chest.
Oh. Perfectix did find a headshot, but it's far enough that it isn't the insta-knock from the Dragunov. Lu, though, gonna follow up and get Hemas, and that is going to be a point going over to Twisted Minds.
Cerberus makes landfall, but right in front of FaZe, who spots that. They should be able to read. That's going to be a problem for him. Tiamba still not quite done up over here to the north. They want this Petrichor road fight, but you can see it's starting to come at a couple points. Petrichor road really can't regroup up on the top of this, and that's kind of beneficial for everybody. Remember, Petrichor road were the defenders of the location. If Tiamba can manage to unseat them, make some type of problem, it's going to open up some more for everybody else to try to continue.
Chewy got a headshot there, and bought himself enough time to reposition and go for the follow-up grenade, the alley-oop on top of Pau land. Pau had gotten the first aid, oftentimes doesn't get knocked from it.
Kalau kemarin tuh
kills for
kayak yang
PGC,
PGS itu dia
absolutely dominating on this position. Still 4 members that are going to be up. 7-7 has their work cut out from just 2 members up. Even if they were to retreat, it's going to be T5 that's back behind them. I know though, everybody keeps looking. Yes, still
Aaron, makasih 3 bulan ya.
And 17 gaming in the thick of the
almost 200
agak susah sih kalau tipep nih.
They have all the space in the world to work with. FaZe underneath the firing lines of a couple different teams. Day traded, duking it out with Space Station Gaming. They've done some damage to FaZe. They had to turn their attention to the other side.
And that's the only reason that FaZe can get away right now is just Daytrade rolling right up onto SSG. You can see now FaZe
Daytrade langsung tim Thailand kan Daytrade ya.
Kamu teriakin Daytrade udah pulang dia tuh.
Keep in mind now, Twisted Minds has seen this. They realize that there's an opportunity for points.
Tinggal nunggu tepuk tangan respect aja Beat abis ini.
Yeah, they're driving into this. Gustav going to be going for the flush. He is going to claim Tycon's life. Looking for any other players to do damage with while Rez has happened. Great positioning here from Gustav. Found angles into a couple different fights.
Nah ini tepuk tangan respect nih bentar lagi nih.
Like that. Goodness.
Bentar lagi belum rata soalnya.
Moving forward, realizing okay, hey, we know how this fight
Sampai
goes. We've been
20 kan,
paying attention to the kill feed. Let's shift back into this one. Realize the fact that we don't know where that last solo for SSG is. Instead, let's pounce on what is going to be available for us. Rez going to be coming out. Gustav reads it. Doesn't quite get it the way that he wants, though. The Rez does come.
Itu lagi Supron ya?
Go and finish it. Now Gustav,
megangnya.
that should be a pretty easy toss. It's going to roll
Jrok.
between them.
Tepuk tangan respect.
Nice and easy. FaZe here. 7
Tepuk
kills.
tangan respect. Nah, tepuk tangan respect tuh.
Gonna get 7-7 down the follow-up. Not able to find the flush just yet, but the Molly could be happening. Except
hampir.
T5 has something to say about it.
How much more do you have in the tank? These guys have been fighting for so long. You can see Ming sitting at almost 400 damage. We're in phase number 6 and still more to go. With the circle now popping and favoring 17's position, this lumberyard up on the top of everything is going to be very dangerous to navigate. Pau with some very sneaky angles can absolutely rip apart Petrichor Road, but let's not forget about T5 in a much more elevated position.
Yeah, T5 now going to be bullying Petrichor Road off this fight with Tiamba as much as they can. Pau lingers in between, but now Tanadol keeping his eyes on the Chewy. Chewy has to use some smokes. He knows he is being watched, and he's got Summer rolling in behind him, try to make this move to group up with Ming and Aix left.
And this is getting harder to deal with. Petro Road put up a hell of a fight here.
Seramnya ini
You
orang.
can see there's just too many firing lines for them to contest with. They use so much smoke, so much everything. All of those fights to get the kills that they've got right now. Summer finally gets knocked on a Rosted. That might open up some opportunities for them to rotate, but it is going to be scary. Twisted Minds, though, has managed to spot out FaZe, and that is big trouble for everybody.
Paje, ayolah, twist. Kurang banget Paje nih.
Perfectix with the Dragonov.
SSG ayo bunuh twist satu SSG.
Sampah.
Nice. 17. 17.
It's stealing it away from their closest competitor.
Ayo Faze bunuh bola ini.
Nah.
Now leaning in, giving Fex the time to get the match back up. Blue Zone going to be back behind them. So little territory to try to navigate.
Dukung banyak kita. Drop. Semua kita dukung.
Semua.
Pokoknya Twisted kudu mati aja.
Aduh, digendong, Cok.
Aduh. Kayak mana Paje ini bisa?
Nah, ada Rob nih. Kurang aja.
Roth would still have a role to play in this. Perfectix is going to be reasonable. It looks like. Don't know if Roth has any more throwables. Gonna shift right into 17 territory. Already 4 kills. Looking to get the win. Looking to shoot up the leaderboard.
17 ini dihajar banyak kan dong.
Roth, though, unfortunately, still has to contend with 17 Gaming to his north, and he has Twisted Minds to his south, and is about to have Petrichor Road to his east.
Tim Indo ada MRPX.
Very difficult, but I mean, Roth can make some big plays right now. He is going to get the knock on the X-Lip, wins that 1v1 for now, but you can see this Rock, the only thing that is his friend right now.
There's nothing you can do about that knock except to give it over.
Ah, tidak.
Out in the open, 17 trying to claim real estate, and they're going to pay the price.
Everybody's coming after him right now, and it looks like the Roth, he cannot survive around the rock anymore. As Twisted Minds do get control of the south, but Petrichor Road knows exactly where they are.
Petrichor Road barreling down on top of them, a pretty good angle here.
Nice.
On to Perfectix, who's stuck between the tree and the blue. Not much room for him to maneuver. How many smokes are left? He finds just enough time and space to get away.
Nah, Twist jatuh satu ya kan.
10 points separating out these two squads as it looks like it's going to be duel of fate style moment. Petrichor Road not quite out of it just quite yet though. T5 wanting to get some more. They've really contained in what 17 was trying to do over here in the center of the circle. Really, 17 surrendering this, wanting to get some kills out to the south, but that mission didn't really go in their favor the way they wanted it to go either.
This is a classic T5 game, playing smart, methodical, patient PUBG, controlling their space very, very nicely, getting into the late game with all 4 players up, giving themselves a good chance
makasih
to
17 bulannya, 7 bulannya bang. Nah, drop. Hampir anjing.
Just barely out of range of the instant knock.
Minds with the opportunity 10 points behind Donovan right now, and there is a ton of kills in front of them if they can pick him up. But Tulin's going to be the point man leading the charge up the hillside, but they have got Petrichor Road still over into the east, and 17 Gaming still trying to fend up. We are in our top 4 phase number 7. It's a 4v4v4v3 with 17 Gaming having the
It's insane how close the leaderboard is right now, all the way down to Petrichor Road, even LG at 101. Everybody's so tightly packed here below Donowa, who still sits into first. Damage being done to Spiral, able to prone just in time.
It is just the hillsides being enough of a piece of cover for these guys to survive for right now. Problem with Twisted Minds, though, is they have got to be careful. That T5 line could swing back onto them in any given second. Petrichor Road getting more and more pressed in, but Summer
doesn't see it.
So number 9. Is he going to find something to explode here? It just doesn't look like it.
He didn't see him push up. Now Lou making some noise, so that's going to alert Petrichor Road to the pushed up position of Twisted Minds. Pang again has to immediately keep that head down. He is going to have that headshot from Perfectix's Dragonov in his head, in his mind. He's going to be thinking about that for sure. Hatsawat with a Dragonov of his own. Finds the knock on a Suju.
Hey, it's going to be a domino effect as we start to see kills go off, man. It is going to be the charge to pick up everything you can. It's called the storm. There you go.
Drop.
Going to continue to exploit. X-Lip wants a piece of it. Here comes that charge from Petrichor Road, realizing the angle is now open.
Tanggung bang, hajar dulu lah. Ah, one more.
He was on low health. He only had 1 first aid left. They immediately scramble over to X left to get this rest. They know how vital it is.
Peru gila banget anjing.
Nggak, yang penting jangan twist bang, biar jauh aja, biar sama aja.
Peru udah hitam juga sih. Bisa ketiga bit asli. Kalau menggila. Nah, one more bang.
Nice, patompong.
Nggak ngefek ya, dia yang ngambil. Nah,
perang lagi sama T5. Biar 17 yang jig.
At least rank 2 lah, oke lah.
Dia zona soalnya.
Itu rumah ambil genteng udah.
This is one of those classic games where they just start firing on all cylinders.
Betul.
Iya, nggak usah dicek dalam-dalamnya udah.
Team after team with
Naik
this
atas genteng aja.
controlled discipline,
Naik atas genteng dari.
well-coordinated, well-orchestrated play that they have. Yes, T5 has
Danawa berserak bang.
T5
Danawa
has some
aja
control
lu.
over the zone momentarily, but the circle is going to be forcing them into 17
Oke, nggak usah
territory.
dicek dalam rumahnya ya, oke, nggak usah dicek.
On top. I think Suju's right underneath him here. Xiaobei didn't think he saw him, but he did see X left.
Well, Ghost just waiting this one out for right now. Here's everything, realizing the fact that he is just a snake hiding.
Seru kali coy, ini last game.
T5 trying to
Belum last game bang.
with the control that they had just a
Maksudnya
moment
abis
ago.
ini,
But those sightlines
poinnya
have gone.
deket-deket
Nades now
Betul,
starting to come
betul.
out. Petrichor Road knows where a lot of these
Micun
repositions are,
masih
but
ngepron
haven't
saja
quite
di sini
worked
Ari.
out. Yeah, Rosman is gonna spot out X.
Nice.
That's a big problem for
Nice,
those
T-Pep,
guys.
T-Pep, T-Pep, T-Pep. Tif, aduh, panadol. Pusing deh.
Woi, defense.
Switching between utility, trying to find
Oh,
the
ini
right
Micun.
option here.
Micun.
T5 on top, X left down.
Let's go! Let's go! Matiin bang. Oh, kena zone gitu ya. Asik.
Micun.
Emang Micun ini mukanya guys.
Iya.
17. 17. Satu semua anjing. 17. Mampus. Aduh, pusing dia. 17. 17 kah? Let's go. Pikan gua kok wangi sih? Let's go.
Bilang Micun bro, ini bro.
Micun bro. Kalau OP bro Micun.
17. Anjing pikan gua wangi bit, tumben banget 2 kali nih. Anjing 2000 deh. Anjing seru. Seru guys. Ada one on one gitu ya. Tiba-tiba anjing.
Dari 4-4-2 jadi 1-1.
Iya. Tadi sih yang di dalam sih dapat 2 itu sih penentu banget dah.
Dapat 2.
Si Micun itu juga dapat 2 kan tadi. Broknya.
Dapat 3 dia, dapat 3
dapat 3. 4 sama yang terakhir. Maksudnya
chat lah. Nerf Micun.
Micun. Sumpah mirip kali sama Micun bang.
Gaya gameplay ya.
Orangnya.
Bukannya.
Yang mana yang ini?
Yang bulat.
Oh ini XB. Oh ini.
Micun.
The second to last match is done and 17.
Nah ini new happy-nya siapa ini? Gue mau pick juga sih sebenarnya.
Back at how we end up the 3-horse race in the highlight.
Absolute insane game here. They had that centered up and they had that locked down, but they're down to 2. They'll go spring the bear trap on the T1 guys. What an insane game of Waldo, but we had some hardships. It was hard. Perfect though. Danawa out early. That means all the other teams in the chase, they could make things happen. Dreams could be made and come true in the very last game.
I'm sorry, Danawa. It doesn't mean I don't love you, but it means I love a race, and that is what we're going to have off the back of this game as we watch these highlights. They fought valiantly for a bunch of points. Twisted Minds knew they needed to be north of 125 going into this next game. They did it. They fought. They survived. They got what they needed, and then we get to the showdown at the lumber mill. And 17 games in, if they can stop T5, that's their chance to go the distance. We're about to see it in a second. We even got to see them jumping for joy at the end. This is what I love about this. Twisted Minds, 17, playing when they need to.
T5 looked to be in control.
Momen terakhir sih chaos banget sih, pengen lihat gua. Pengen diulang gitu.
The gatekeep on to Pertico Road was on point. But it was just
langsung terakhir.
They made dreams happen here and they jumped out of their seats. Look at that. So happy for these guys.
Huge win. You can see them hugging. You can see them jumping. I'm gonna be honest. As we come back to the desk for the not for the final time, but for the final game. During that last break, all the players get up, they take their rest. I passed Twisted Minds. I passed 17 in the hallway. They look gutted after the Danawa win. They look like we're going out there, we're gonna fight again. Danawa going down early in that match breathed life back into these teams. They saw it happen as they got fired up. Even FaZe stepped up and said, this could be our shot. They put up a big kill game. That was a phenomenal match.
Gila ya. 6 kill doang tapi damage-nya 2500.
Salah tuh Wikipedia tuh 10 kill doang.
Siapa? 9.
Emang nggak sih? Kan di dalam rumah tadi.
11
The 17th game of the grand finals is theirs.
That's the one to do it in if you're going to set yourself up for the race, the man of the match.
Itu udah di-update.
Udah
Niku nih.
And was able to clutch it out.
Emang gini
What I loved about that is that it came down to a 1v1v1, then a 1v1 with nothing but lumber between them, and it was all about how well you played around those lines.
Oh my god.
Pero sih gila juga ya.
21 for Pertico Road and 17, T5 11, FaZe 10. And again, it's gonna be so down to the teeth here in the very last game. It is close. Not much points for the teams on the right side, and Danawa with just 1 point in this one makes a, I would say, effectively horse race in the last game.
We'll take a look.
Danawa 17.
Twisted.
Apa?
Dua itu buka link 2 itu tuh ya.
Wih, beda 8 Danawa.
Gimana? Discord. Aman gak ini kalau gue buka Discord nih? Ada password nggak? Oke.
Aman.
Ini Manando gue ngeliatnya.
Micun yang di kanan bawah. Yang jongkok.
Oh, yang samping Jack.
Ya. Mirip kan?
Versi lokal ya. Agak kereng dikit ya, cuman aman lah.
Udah lihat belum yang cara orang ngeklaim kode? Pakai
Belum.
anjing. 1 detik, Cok.
Oh, itu tuh lu ngirim Twitter itu ternyata.
Iya. Danawa. Twisted kalau dia bro.
Oh, sorry.
And have earned their right to hoist that trophy at the end of the day today. We see a lot of teams gutted.
Ini mental juara sih, yang juara tuh. Wah.
17 juara, 17.
Iya, 17 ya aku yakin. Tapi Danawa juara. Kuat mental.
Kalau Twisted Mind udah pasti lah ya turun dah. Itu udah pusing dan nanti itu.
Pusing Octo ngeliatin aplikasi yang Twitter itu.
Apa tadi?
Emang AI tai anjing namanya nih. AI tai anjing.
Keren kan yang kode gue kasih tunjuk Dot.
Iya.
Nah, keren kan Mas? Gimana cara lawan itu Mas?
Tapi gue udah yakin ada yang AI kayak gitu. Soalnya foto juga sekarang kan bisa dikopas. Kayak kita foto apa.
Nah,
Nanti
makanya
yang buat translate tuh kalau nggak salah.
Gue mau pakai itu. Nggak bisa karena udah digarisin.
Iya makanya ada penghalangnya Bit ya biar AI-nya nggak bisa kali ya.
PGT 2019 Genji, Pio, Loki, Entertainment. Udah lama nih bos. Udah lama bos.
Happy.
New happy.
Oh PGT 2022.
Nafi masuknya. Nafi nak dah
Ini besok.
Nafi aja nggak muncul ke permukaan ya.
Kode. First skill katanya kode ini.
Kode ente.
Emang iya ambil.
Enggak.
Tapi tadi
guys,
gua
nonton di Twitch yang global guys, biar nggak beda guys.
Udah nggak ada kode kok guys.
Jadi takut nih, kayak Danawan nih tabraknya samping Cina.
Tadi tuh gua milih 17 karena match 17 Bit. Masa nggak 17 yang menang ya kan? Beneran chicken aja.
Tetap iseng padahal.
Chat bebas
aman ya.
Makan-makan.
Decently to the west. Danawa gonna be able to get to
Makan
their
seafood
spot.
siram dia.
Twisted Minds no problems.
Tebak circle kemana Bit?
Look like SSG is interested in messing with anything
Ke
with these.
Milbes.
Si paling milbes.
Close to 50-50.
This has been the name
Udah
of the
keluar
game so
abang di
far.
Thailand,
We've
abang
seen
curang.
some lean down to the south, going into
Ya,
some
bohong.
points and very bad lanes endings. Then you have the Stolper Hillside.
Anjing lebih curang lagi. Lebih curang lagi.
Gimana tuh?
Global aja, global.
Lebih lagi ternyata.
That's absolutely true. And for Danawa, the
Milbes
real
kah?
key here for them.
Dari nadanya aja kayak orang udah tahu Bit. Atas.
50-50. This is what they like to do in circles like this, is they try to hedge their
Curang,
bets
Cok.
on
Wop,
both
flare
sides.
gun,
Salute even
salute.
gonna find
Danawa
himself some
70.
great utility potentially. 17, you're on the edge of the circle.
Ada kan
To your northeast. So how do you play this? Do you try to wrap around and gamble on the north? Or you go to just wait on Potato Hill maybe, get up there, get information, and try to play
ranked
for the
nggak ada
lead.
tahu.
Mana ada bis?
Nggak ada.
Mana ada ranked
There's
itu?
not a lot
Nggak
of
ada.
that they're going to be able to
Normal
exploit. So
aja.
Batulans can
Special drop doang.
technically go up to Potato.
Ini ada
The
cerita orang
closest thing
sini udah
to
di braided
that
pasti
try to
bisa sama mereka
navigate, but
bis.
they
Nggak
are
mungkin
kind of
kayak
center.
publik.
The
Biarkan
50
saja.
kills on us, though, is
Lewat.
kind of nerve.
Diliatin tuh mobilnya.
Kalau berempat ya Allah cuman 1 klip per orang sih meledak ya.
Not being the friendliest, the second
Nggak
one
ada
gives a
nyawa
much
ini.
better cue on how that's going to go. So don't be surprised if you see a
Lagi
lot of
peluru
patience
AK yang
come
nembak.
outside this
Lah
circle.
itu dia.
Peluru.
Aim nempel ya kan. 4 orang nembak udah.
Top
Mau
killnya
ngapain?
sih ini ya, X left.
Looking
Iya,
to
karena
get
6
out
kill.
of kind of a
MVP-nya
slightly
X-Left,
position
Pak?
and they want to be
Iya,
score-wise.
X-Left.
Solozzi only has a
36 kill.
vector.
Di bawahnya
It is going to
28.
be tricky.
Uji salut.
Top three, right? But still,
27.
look, FaZe, New Happy, Petchcore Road, only
Iya,
2
so
points
X-Left
separating out those
84
squads. So
TWR.
it's just going to be a touchback behind that, 5
Wire.
points back behind FaZe. This might be a read that they're going for sometime.
Betul.
It could be. I'm curious to see exactly what's going to be happening. I saw
Ban. Hai Saki, ban lah.
Waduh, Isaki ada James.
lurking with the Bison.
Bentar, bukan temen nih katanya.
Stage, guys, be careful. You can see the fact that he is surrounded right now.
Tinggalan ya?
Waiting this
Iya,
round.
ada mobil ya?
The other members of
Isaki ya?
FaZe have managed to escape. Is going to spot on Isaki.
Yeah.
So at least going to be able to pick up one very quickly, running in, making sure that he can flush this one out before any
First kill.
Big points here for FaZe,
Nonton.
keeping themselves in
kode.
fourth place. Can every position matter?
F1
Oh, so crucial here in this last game.
SBU.
R5T
On the outside looking in from
UCK.
Gatka, down in
K1
10th
LL,
place.
first
Can
kill
they
lah itu.
climb any further higher? 9 points to Tianba ahead of them. A bit of distance to go to find a little bit better positioning on the leaderboard.
It's just been a very quiet
Ini
day for them
nonton
in general,
pakai
not finding much success in a lot
speaker
of
siapa
these
ya?
later stages, even having trouble making it in the later stages
Ah.
of it.
Morbid.
SSG
Pakai
are
earphone
gonna be
nih.
navigating and actually getting a
Bang,
very
biasa
good
tuh.
position off of this.
Mantul
If
mulu
we
dari
do
tadi,
see the
Bit.
circle
Dari game
lean
pertama
more
lah.
into the south, or specifically in the southeast,
Suara
this is a
kalian dong,
very
kan?
strong control point to play from.
Enggak, suara in game.
Absolutely, I
Enggak,
love
sorry,
playing from that
Kalau
area.
pakai
You
speaker,
get a decent
kedengaran
amount of
suara.
information. It's relatively safe. You can watch your
Ngapa,
flanks
ngapa?
really nicely. So definitely
Sakit
a
kuping pakai
really Good spot for SSG to start. Tosi.
Waduh,
Bis itu 20 million Gcoin Ivan bis.
Not connecting.
V7 is running an
Jadi
extremely
kayak
wide 2-2 split.
2023 11 18 coba ada bis.
Also in the God compound north of Rajak.
Ternyata bener 1 juta Gcoin tiba-tiba kan.
Try to control that Razak bridge as best as they can.
Level 10 anjing.
Bit them in the butt sometimes.
Disitulah Apis berjaya.
Teams capitalize on their known splits.
Kalau gua sih jual akun ya, Vis ya. Jual akun sih.
Dekat sebulan.
Oh iya.
One of our teams that not quite in the circle just yet. Looks like Flash is already going to be moving to see if maybe.
Lah iya, lu upgrade dulu ya kan. Upgrade 10 semua level ya kan.
From shooting
Baru
range all the way
jual.
down
Rupanya
to
ada
the
yang
gas
dapat.
station, and they're going to be running into another duo.
Positif
Well,
aja
actually,
lah
it looks
dapat.
like there's 3 men.
Kan nih ngayal.
Yeah, it almost looks like 3 because
Enaknya nggak ya lah?
I'm glad it's Dorito there. Yeah, no.
Enak kayak Bang Opal dapat 3.000 kan.
Pretty
Beli
wise
metal.
that somebody could be up there who's going to stop here first to claim it and then potentially gather some information. Sonics now making their entry into the circle from the western side.
Dapat cuma total
For anybody in the air, see
semua
if
total
anything,
PGC
anybody's trying
400
to
aja.
pick up. Maybe FaZe will grab one if they're lucky enough. And try to get up there. Twisted Minds.
Tuh, Danawa. Danawa.
10 points behind right now, and it is going to be a big game. The circle does look like it's leaning in to give them the potential for it if it does play south of the river.
Ayo NH rank 3 NH, ayo NH.
Biar makin cair. Makin cair.
Yeah, it's been a just
Yes, dong,
absolutely
rank
brilliant
3.
day for New Happy. But it seems
Tapi
like
kalau
they're
twist
coming up
bener-bener
a
rank
big
3
short,
lagi
running
sih,
out of gas
tai
just
banget sih Bit
before
ini.
the finish line.
Iya, cok,
Sonics
semua
setting up
PGC rank
outside of the
3
Bullyard.
anjing kasihan banget.
3
Udah
tahun
bubar
berturut-turut
kayaknya.
lagi.
Petrichor
Ini
Road
sih bubar ya menurut
looming
gue ya.
right on the
Kalau
edge.
masih 3.
Enggak sih. Berdasarkan duit sih aman lah Bit lah.
Ya ganti pemain lah.
Ganti pemain pun bisa juga. Dia paling lama
They've got a wall to play for
Iya,
right
dia
now.
berempat
Instead,
terus dari
trying to
dulu.
see if they can get some more information. Keep in mind, they're coming in this pretty cold. They were playing over around the Gatka area, so they have no idea what's going on. But they do know that 17 goes Pachinki and could be kind of
Tapi berarti
dancing around to their
kutukan
east or
udah
their south.
harus bubar mereka
Absolutely.
berempat. Harus
It's gonna
pisah
be
tim.
very dicey there
Apa iya,
for
Bit?
the Sonics potentially.
Itu di NA
See if they
di
can
apa
get a
di
read on Petrichor
EU
Road,
dia
trying to set
kalah
up
tuh Bit.
a camp there.
Tapi
Petrichor
juara
Road is
tiga,
in a situation that they know
juara
they
tiga
need
2
to
miliar
fight
loh
kills
Bit.
if they're gonna have
Aman
any
aja.
hope of getting a win, H-win.
Tapi dia
Wah,
jadi
mati,
3
Q, mati, Sonic
Tapi 2 miliar Bit.
meninggal.
Pero nih.
Kickstart wants to line up
Pero
this
menggila
nade.
lagi ya ini.
It's being shifted between. Nade's going to go a bit long. Does connect on the
Gendong,
kickstart just a
gendong.
bit.
Yeah.
Looks like Summer might be trying to prep another one. He's just going to go and pick
Pas
up
nyebrang nih,
and
drop.
run with his teammate right now. Narrowly going past those
Iya, kena
walls.
hit doang.
That was the scary spot for it. Now, he should be able to at least get back into reinforced lines. Can Tickleton
Wah,
slow down
timing
any push
megang
coming
bom.
from Petrichor Road? It looks like that is going to be the case.
Tiggleton took some damage from that grenade from Ming. Nicely thrown. And now they're going to have to play some pretty solid defense. Kickstart already.
Namanya juga twist
reloading
kok, muter-muter
that smoke
aja.
grenade launcher.
Also, we did see day trade
Di situ-situ aja.
They're
Bro,
not quite on your mini
dulu
map. They're
VP
just to
tuh,
the south of
Virtus
this.
Pro.
They're running
Mati si
a bit of a
Tegalton
split
ini.
of their own, and they
Tetap
might
tiga,
want to get more
Woi,
aggressive.
woi, dapat kill, let's go.
Aduh.
17 Gaming
Lama sekali Bang. Tipis banget Bang.
Nice,
Bang,
Mitchell.
Insan, nice.
Nice.
So critical to catching up to Danawa.
Ini matiin aja lah di Sonic lah.
To try to
Nggak peduli
third
gua.
party this fight. Going to
Walaupun
pay the
di pick
price.
juga udahlah.
Summer
Pakai Bang, pakai.
Walaupun
di pick pakai Bang. Gak ada harapan ini.
Gak ada harapan.
Akankah
Now
SUTD?
Shrimzy, the last
Woi.
hope for the Sonics.
Woi.
Presently
Woi.
in 10th place. They've got some space from SSG, but not a lot to really deal with. Even if Shrimzy tries to lead,
Bersama draft kick.
Flash is already
Gantiin
watching.
siapa deh?
There's nowhere
Apa-apa?
for him to go.
Gantiin siapa?
Oh,
Siapa
dude, if
aja
he
lah,
picks
Bang.
up their
Oh,
up
siapa
top, he's
aja?
gonna get spotted, and yet it is going to be Flash that at least reveals that. I
Cocok
think
berarti
that Ming
antara
might have
kickstart
also
atau nggak
seen
tinggal
some bit
tim.
of that movement coming up from
Mantap.
Shrimzy.
I think you're right. Makes left. Now going to be on his horse, trying to eliminate
Mati
the
aja lah
final
kamu,
member of
Shrimzy.
the Sonics. Shrimzy
Lama kali.
starts letting loose with the
Weh,
smokes, kind
kelas
of
nih.
cut off some angles
Let's go
from this
abangku.
push. Maybe give himself
Nah.
the opportunity to isolate a player at a time.
Kelas.
Of course, Petrichor Road doesn't
Kelas
want to give
berapa
him
dia?
that chance.
Sonic
There's
TD
no
bersama
escape.
Kerman.
Chewy should be able to watch any exit that Shrimzy tries to take. If he tries to do a cheeky drop down off the ledge, he's going to get spotted. Does decent damage to Chewy.
At least manages to get him to go to a new position.
Ui.
He's gonna drop.
Ui.
Drop it down.
Ui.
Very sneaky. Could he fight back behind his dust?
Wah, anjing bisa gitu.
Now just trying to go for another flush. Gonna reveal.
Eh.
There
Wah.
he is going to pick it up.
Itu outplay sih lumayan ya. Outplay bro.
To not pull up, to kind of just take a moment and then drop down.
Yang penting Dana, wah.
Completely off guard. The sound as well. Backing Chewy off of the initial spread. That gave him the opportunity to
Micun.
That's devastating for Petrichor Road.
So Sonic's now eliminated day trade. This one Circle does lean more to the center. Still keeps a pretty decent 50-50. 17 game are going to be eyeing out what's going to be going on, shifting into the Badlands, so they can maybe pick up a couple of kills.
All three of our top teams in this current circle south of the river. Donawa, Twisted Minds, and 17 all there. And they have a big role to play in this. Twisted Minds love the school, immediately rotating over here. They love the control that the school gives you. So much vision, so much defendability. Now we have seen teams be able to get into the school underneath them. It does happen. So that's going to be the question. Is anybody going to make that gamble?
B7 is going to have some oversight on the reinforcements as the duo now going to collapse in, leaning heavily into the
pergi tadi yang di sini siapa ya? Lupa
G as well as T5 up to the north with Tiana going to be falling back behind what looks to be the rotating V7. Now then, Donawa, it's been a bit quiet for them so far, but I mean, they do have control over the east. It's just pretty much them and SSG, no big movement.
Mana helinya?
Mostly FaZe and Tyloo.
Donawa,
Dan gol menjadi 3 Loki kan? Hancur nak.
Posturing to keep SSG off their backs, to keep them away from their space, because they are split pretty wide, essentially a 2-1-1. Happy on the western edge, as all these teams trying to settle up as much as they can. Everybody's going to prefer the south. It could still shift north. That is absolutely a possibility.
I am just absolutely
Sonic cuma mengenang tahun 2019 nih guys. Udah mati pertama ya kan.
They don't know the fact that it's going to be
masa-masa jaya.
a lot of teams, most notably Tiamba, that's going to be looking in. Problem for Tiamba is that rotation coming up from New Happy is going to happen roughly the same time that T5 is going to be pouncing up right behind them.
Kemarin udah ABS juara malah ganti pemain, bingung.
Up on the other side, let's see if they can find some way to get through. They're doing some damage to Pow Pow, but no knock.
Nah, kabar Navi gimana tuh? Navi aja nggak masuk ke ini kan? Qualifier.
With that machine gun in hand, looking to mow people down if possible, but for now, everybody's just going to
lolos PGC,
pump the brakes. I'd like to give an opportunity here to shout out to some of our top performers so far coming into this game. Aches left, your top fragger so far with 36 kills in the grand finals. By the way, that's 8 more than the next closest player coming into this last game. He has been absolutely disgusting. And then your top damage dealer, it was
tapi stabil sih di rank 3 dia emang.
6,526 damage for Soul in this grand finals. The next closest player is Himas with 5,700. It is
kena plot twist
output that Soul generates.
That's just ridiculous if you think about it. And now the lines are going to start to be cemented a bit more, and it's going to be
nggak usah jauh-jauh lah. Ini tadi 17 tiba-tiba chicken deh kan.
Just yet, but Tyloo is wrapping behind them up to
the power of Michun.
We also want to give a big shout out. We have a ton of new viewers that are jumping in right now. Hope you guys are absolutely loving PUBG esports.
T-Pep kita nih, abang-abangannya ade-adean nih. Bang T-Pep nih.
Going to go ahead and say, nah, I don't like this approach. Let's go ahead and shift up to the north. That might be where Tyloo could spot them out.
I think this is wise for T5 for now. Don't overcommit to anything. Very much.
Yang tim Vietnam di sini siapa aja, Bit?
Deep into it.
This
is going to be a very just go. Oh my God!
Wow. Big switch. We are now headed back into the north. That river cutting off just about everything. Rajan about to pop off. How are teams going to rotate? They can't just jump into the blue right now and try to rotate around.
Danawa enak dia
as well. They're going to be cutting over into the west. Meanwhile, a regroup up into that north where T5 and
begal T5 begal. Bannya.
To shoot them off this point.
Drop.
Great headshot from Shen.
Emang ngeyen tuh paling susah, Bang.
That hill giving just enough cover to him. Shen trying to reposition, looking for the players that are trying to help. Oh, Donawa.
This is massive over here. We do have an that got into a gate kept position right in front of Donawa. They're going to be rotating. SSG going to be right up on top of him at the same time. There is near on nowhere to go over here. Donawa's going to kind of be cut out on this one. You can see this hillside. Yes, it's got a couple of things that can be played, but all of it's going to be vulnerable for the time being. Donawa's going to continue moving forward, and Nonix leading the way. But LG still has a position to stop in front of them. Can they defend up in time?
Shifting away.
Donovan's got a difficult decision to make here. They're on the outside looking in, and LG has taken a very wide 2-2 split, so Donovan's going to have to take their time to get their info and identify a safe spot in this next circle to make their landing.
And that's going to be so hard to do because remember that SSG was in the thick of this rotation as well. It's going to be very hard to track where all of those cars stopped at and how the lines come in together. 17 Gaming going to be right back behind in
Kok gue curiga Pero tiba-tiba langsung melesat ya.
Aduh. But instead, they're just stumbling on top of each other. Xiaowu wants to make something happen here, but Nan's going to go down to the blue zone, and that is going to be Xiaowu realizing an opportunity to be had. Can he get the spray on the backside of it?
And he'd love to get that point if possible, but he's afraid to stick his head out again. Took too much damage, and 17
Demi
is going
1
to
kill.
be able to bypass
Demi 1 kill.
New Happy because of that.
Demi 2 kill.
Absolute worth right now. How much do you commit in Suju? His names have just been on
You
point.
nggak
He's
bisa
just
si
got
Ju.
I already know.
Zone. Oh, net.
He's gonna land. This guy has just been
Drop.
Absolutely money.
Dua kill berarti.
On a sliver of life, and he's going to bleed out very, very shortly, and it is going to be Xiaowu claiming those points. 17 Gaming, 3 kills, 5 points behind Donawa.
Creeping up right now. Donawa, odd
Nah,
team
dah tu bang,
out
udah
over
1-2 aja
here.
kita, bang.
Did move in right next to them, just to the south. We did see LG shift in a bit more into the north, so that means the fact that there is some relenting hillside that they can play for right now, but you
pemain
can see
TO
that's
twistnya
about all
cabut
that
ya.
they've got to work with. If this circle moves anywhere away from them, it is going to be a desperation send, and with
Daun Gaming nggak ada nih. Daun Gaming siapa bang?
They're able to claim control of this gas station. The last time they were here did not go so well. Twisted Minds was able to bop them out. Soul did what he could, got 3 of Twisted Minds before he was taken out. But for now, Service go around it.
Daytrade has a line on 17 Gaming. Do get on. That's going to be Xiao Bei as well.
Wah, kuncen kita mati, guys.
Circle pops and it leans into the north. 17 Gaming has an opportunity to stop off T5.
Heboh banget ya. Kalau tim Thailand.
Iya, bunuh aja seneng aja. Pasti suara cewek yang paling gede.
Kalau ratas ingat tepuk tangan respect. Wih, ditabrak bro. Mampus 3 lu.
Dapat 2 kill kan, terus twistnya nggak dapat kill.
Yo Danawa.
Twisted Minds has a ton of work to do. V7 still with a 2-2 split.
Yo Twist tusun yuk. Twist. Tusun. Pero tusun yuk. Twist Pero tusun ayo.
Aman. To get the res. Cerberus right on the other side of this hill though.
There is
dapat kill.
to be so careful. You can see Souls just trying to shoo away the members from LG. They got the knock. They wanted to get the high ground.
Oh, nggak sempat keripip tadi berarti ya. Pas nyebrang mati.
This rotation.
Oh my, this is absolutely scary for Donawa. They're in a tricky position.
Danawa.
Find the shots in time.
Just not quite there with those shots from Soul just a moment ago. At least going to get the space to come in. And runs over Loki.
Ada ramen guys jam 10 nanti kelar ini pokoknya bang.
To reconsider now that they see another knock in the kill feed.
Danawa nggak bisa naik soalnya DLG.
This potential position, trying to cut off any
kelihatan dari rumah ya.
Bisa di-push LG nih Dede.
Kena bunyi perang aja. Datang LG. Twist mampus Twist, nggak zona. Mati kau.
Twist mati yuk sama Pero yuk. Mati berdua dah anjing. Biar tenang nih placement.
That they don't have to really duke it out with Cerberus. Cerberus completely hidden inside.
Ayo Chase.
Ayo. So far not going to get any info until Cerberus gives it
Twist
over.
mati kau twist.
Twisted Mind's positioning is they still have to work around this one, and Nox doing a great job of just trying to control the angle on this one. Day Trade is
Day Trade sih lagi tepuk tangan banget nih.
They're fighting over that god compound just to the south the rest of everything.
Oh gitu. Oh gitu. Yo Twist, pulang.
Menang si Chess nih, asik. Chess bisa Chess.
Who's gonna win?
Nice salut.
Nice.
Jangan
Prediknya nanti dulu. Perang bom. Nggak ada punya tapi nggak punya. Dikit-dikit bang, tenang bang. Nice. Ih, dikit lagi bang. Aduh. Dicolong anjing. Aduh, dicolong. Tapi nggak apa-apa, Twist. Mampus. Aduh, Twist. Kata dia. Juara 3 lagi, Dek. NH naik yuk, NH yuk.
Naik yuk 3 yuk, NH yuk.
Naik yuk.
Gak
apa-apa. Yang penting jangan Pero naik tiba-tiba lah. Gak apa-apa bang, ambil. Nah.
Satu lagi Ming. Si Ming.
Tycon going to fall as well. Mime just going to take Stakers out, and it is going to be Luminosity out. Currently in 8th place, Tiambo with only 2 players up, going to be tough to catch.
Incer kill dia kayaknya.
Gen Gold sih yang juara ini bro, Gen Gold bro.
Sometimes it's just about realizing the win condition and what you gotta
semangat sampai rank 8. Langsung
dapat medkit.
Wah, dia mau nembak.
Yeah, they came out with that big win to set themselves up, and then it was 3 games in a row of just struggle. They could not find any purchase into the late stages of those games, of those matches, and dominated advantage. They found that win on Macleod and a big and tenacious one, and it was Soul. Never forget. He wins that 1v1.
Cari perset lagi.
Lu terus aja.
Udah ketawa-ketawa, Cok. Inonik. Dapat 1 kill pula dia.
Let's go. Tenang dulu. Nasib kalian masih belum. Sabar dulu.
Juara pasti itu.
Tapi kan bisa jadi Pero tiba-tiba kill semua, Bit gimana? Ya kan?
Tiba-tiba mati semua sama Pero.
Itu
MVP ya.
Langsung jadi legend sih.
Wih, nangis, siapa ini nangis?
Ketahuan. Langsung ketawa lagi.
Karena Opa itu bang, mantap Opa.
Wih.
Keluarganya
salah satu keluarga. Interesting position from Day Trade. Let's be honest, it's going to be the outside shack trying to make something happen, but Norin's going to
boleh. Bang Norin.
In this last game for Day Trade, finding some big kills, finding some big points. They are 1 point ahead of Tyloo. And again, every place matters. It changes the money you get. So it's
another day with third place. Third place. Kesian anjing. 3 tahun anjing.
3 semua.
Tapi 180.000 160.000 sih, Bit. Oke lah.
Yes, it was a struggle.
Iya.
But you want to come out with a bang. You want to showcase what you're still capable of. We know these players are great. We saw glimpses of it at times in this event for Gen G. New happy as well.
Yo, NH kalau nyalip twist sih lebih sakit ya.
out of all the ways you have to send it.
Dia lagi berdoa nih.
Against the team.
Lagi berdoa nih sama
point behind you. Tyler's going to get some damage.
Gua rasa
What? Great shot. And now CC Ming
Ini orang sih udah pengalaman ya pakai Panzer ya. Kau gak usah ngeker-ngeker lagi anjing.
Nggak nyampe bang.
Kata siapa, Bit? Kagak. Oh, lo Bit. Walah, petasan Jangwe anjing.
Things starting to collapse here around
Pero dulu nggak sih Tusun? Ya nggak sih? Masa nggak Tusun? Biar aman nih.
To squeak through with the win, and who knows, maybe even scooch up to third place.
This has just been such a neck and neck PGC the whole way through. It has just been so back and forth moving into this one. Petrichor Road still has some options. If they pick up enough points here, they can actually get themselves up into that third place position as well.
Yeah, there's still a lot of jockeying for position here in this lobby. Circle's going to favor V7. They've got all 4 up. They've got a really good shot at coming through here and ending on a really nice high note.
Okay, we still have the God Compound fight as it's going to be Tiamba trying to fend in. 7-7 is going to spot out.
Tiamba, nggak usah lah. Udah susah naikin.
Nurens though, sharing a compound with him as the dance all around this position going to get heftier.
Susah naikin.
Bisa Dato masih keempat tuh.
Just a bit.
Lah keempat. Dapat EP nggak keempat, Bit? Dapat ya?
Dapat kayaknya.
You never know what can happen here. You might as well go for it.
That puts Nurens in the
Dia nggak tahu cow ada day trade dalam rumah tadi.
Well, Nurens might set this crowd on fire. They have been cheering every moment.
Matikan Pero.
They are ready to explode. I am sure. Genji smoke wall up, nading the opening salvo here, trying to soften up the players. Nurens to get one, but he's taken out by 7-7. And Chewy able to dodge any damage inside of the shack, doing a good job.
Man, Ice Cream Shop is so hard to hold down right now. They are just juking around every bit of this one. Petrichor Road just trying to cling to
Masa nggak dapat. Ade-adean nih deh. Wih, Danawa sih udah ngopi nih bang. Ngapain lagi deh.
V7, Genji, the last 3 teams remaining here in 2023. Tiamba quickly loses Linshu to Tosi though. Tosi on the off
Ya Allah, Linshu baru dihidupin.
Able to find a big knock and Linshu is bleeding out.
Tinggal aja, nggak bisa bang. Oke.
Okay, so with V7's positioning pretty much in control of the east, they've managed to open up multiple sight lines. They're running a
Wah, ini sih pertarungan papan bawah ya guys ya.
You can see that's going to punish anything that Genji is.
Serunya di mid game ini.
Solo odd man out over into the west. Really might be able to find an angle, but it looks like Laz is moving centered up and just going to be in position to be able.
Tapi demi selisih beberapa ribu dolar sih oke lah ini.
Who knows? Maybe we've got.
Kita lihat dulu ya, ini pick em challenge apa? Team face off apakah betul semua ini?
Can showcase why we used to consider him one of, if not the best players in the world. 7-7, nope, haven't none of it.
And so they lock that one down. 10 kills for V7 in all of the chaos. These guys have been absolutely farming. Now position, control, Genji. I don't know what you can do. It is a 2v4 on top of that one.
Telat panas ya.
He's got Human that's going to be lining up very, very close to you. So if he can get something, at least Pio going to get the knockdown. DG going to go down on the opposing side for it. Pio, can you make the miracle happen?
I mean, he's going to have to go absolutely bananas. Gumin trying to keep him pinned with that spray. The grenade is really good. Almost getting the knock. DG coming back. Pio taking damage though.
Molotov just so well positioned to deny so much movement coming up. Pio's going to have to patiently wait this one out. And you can see all of V7 now knows everybody's just moving in on this one. Pio, we know they can rat out some big plays, but there is just nothing to be done. And that is going to go all V7's way.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can paint
the Denawa cair 2 periode.
PGC. 2023 BGC champions. Cair.
This is looking like an instant final. This is going to be lining up very, very close to you. So if he can get something, at least Pio going to get the knockdown. DG going to go down on the DG going to go down on the opposing side for it. Pio,
Cair.
Danawa Espro
600.000 plus.
Wih, Nonik juara 2 kali ya sama Loki.
Gila cair cok mereka cok.
Cair.
NC PGC.
Cair.
It was insane, and that McKendy win set them apart. The hero plays abounding from so many different
Banyak fan
players.
opa-opa ternyata.
It's going to be the first one you talk about. Tons of damage, tons of kills, and Onyx stepping up as the IGL as the year went on. Loki now, yet another trophy in the case.
Kagak jadi, kata dia.
That set Danawa up.
Rotasi gua rusak banget last game.
2 kali rank 2 nih.
Padahal sama-sama rusak sih sebenarnya ya, cuman perkara pada tusun semua.
17 lagi ternyata kursinya.
Anjing.
Ternyata.
Bukannya tipep itu ya?
Enggak 17 tadi sebelah kanannya.
Anjing, angkat piala nih deh.
MVP-nya Ixlev.
Sabar, Nonik tak sabar kan.
Ini kita hitung timnya Bet tuh 1 2 3 4 5 6 7.
Apa itu?
Tim sama staffnya. Total 7.
Macleod 1.
Ya minimal banget 1,2 M lah per orang player.
Juara 2 kali bro.
Rumah kata dia.
Buat film ini, buat film drakor apa besok ya gue ya?
Dirinya Loki ya. 3 kali berarti dia juara dunia.
Loki udah orang paling kaya di PUBG ini kayaknya.
Iya, Loki udah.
Loki paling kaya udah.
There are tears of joy over here.
Coachnya sih tegang ya.
Danawa nih kayak Gen Gold tahun dulu, Cok. Gen Gold sama Gen apa sih? Gen Black ya? Gen Black.
So, how do you feel? 일단은 PGC 우승 소감.
Dia nunggu translatornya doang.
일단은 실감 안 나고 좀
살루테.
우승이라는 게 살짝 프로 게임으로서는 꿈의 무대잖아요. 꿈의 무대니까 조금 더
Artinya, Bang.
말로 할 수 없는
Artinya apa Bang?
괜찮아, yo. Ding.
I'm still not
Gak usah
really holding this trophy.
Kencana.
I mean, this is
Saya lihat
always
tim face off.
meaning for the dreams come true.
Anjing dream come true. Asik. Bijak juga deh.
Yes. Okay. ต้องบอกว่าทางดานาวาเองนะคะตอนนี้
itu.
ของ PGC 2023วันนี้เรียบร้อยเอาประเมินกับเขาหน่อย
Oh, diartiin lagi sama dia. Diartiin lagi.
Betul. NH Faze, NH betul.
เขาเองตอนนี้
Pero T5 salah Pero T5.
ไม่คิดว่าเขาจะได้เป็นคนที่จะได้
LG Achen betul, Detred GE betul, Danawa Sonic betul. Wah, salah satu doang, Cok.
Emang udah ada betul salahnya, Bet?
Gak ada, gua ngitung lihat dari ranknya.
Kalau gua sih ngambil kebalikannya semua kemarin.
Salah satu gua.
Pokoknya harus langsung kaya ya Mas ya.
Iya.
Paling gede.
Wah, yang banyak didukung gua pilih pokoknya. Yang paling dikit gua pilih.
킬로그 체크랑 점수 차이 얼마나 나는지 확인했고 그걸 이제 토대로 이제 게임 하다가 일단 17이 먼저 탈락을 하고
아이고.
떨어지면 저의 우승이 확정이었는데 재훈이
Apa sih kamu pis? Kenapa kamu nih pis?
Jangan kepanjangan nggak sih? Kasihan translatornya.
잡으러 가자.
아이고.
게임 끝났어.
괜찮아 yo. 괜찮아.
The scoreboard. So we focus on 17 and twist the mind.
Oh, iya.
300.000 kita dapat, bro.
Twist the mind.
300.000 is earned for success predict the final.
Udah muncul emang.
Ada enggak tulisannya 300.000 kita dapat.
Udah muncul berarti ya. Gue cek Siang nih mengerai nang bangsa.
Rambutnya kok jelek kali ya.
Danawa e-sport nih dia.
ก็คือผลของชัยชนะของเขาในวันนี้นะคะ Okay, so I would like to ask like especially to
Aduh, kenapa NH enggak rank 3 ya, Cok?
There's something, yeah, it's
Makin banyak poin anjing.
Beli semuanya yang ada di sini.
막판에서 트위스트 마인드랑 싸우기 전에
Kamu kesal, iya kamu kesal.
장면이 나왔었는데 그때 상황이 자세
Oh, saya niat ke warnet demi main Evil serius.
긴장을 잘 안 하는데
4 bang.
마지막으로 이제
Terus apa aja
과장을
kepik?
좀 제가 많이 하고 있어서 일단
17 NH
뒤에 있는 줄 알았는데 제
테라톤
앞으로 보고
소닉.
뒤쪽에
Hai,
녹서서 뒤쪽에 있는 줄 알았는데 제 앞에
Woi, diam lah bang, abang pick Sonic juga ya, diam
Nggak
lah.
ada aku pick Sonic.
다른 팀원들이
Aku
이제
3
괜찮다고
kupon aku.
다행이었던 것 같습니다.
17 Danawa sama NH.
Cair juga dong lu.
The last match, I
Iya.
got really
Cair,
nervous.
cair.
And I thought Loki's was behind me. So
17
when I
Danawa
used the card and then crashed to him, and then I was like, oh, I'm
Tanggal
making
5
a mistake.
cair.
But my teammates just
Gikoin
like,
cair, enak banget hidup saya di PUBG. Gikoin 13.000 piece. EP cair.
Kok nggak ada prediksinya sih, Bit? Berapa ratus ribu EP?
Ada di ini tuh di buat apa? Klik VGC-nya overview di event. Top 4 predict on tier placement.
Oh iya iya. Itu emang 300.000 bukannya total ya, Bit ya?
Itu sukses the predict the final winner tuh.
Oh gitu ya.
Oh dia 1 2 3 4 ambil.
Iya 1 2 3 4 abang dapat abang enggak ding.
NH-nya
5.
Iya. Hero ngapain? Tiket dia apa nih?
Naik dia tadi bunuh day trade.
PGC 2023 MVP and a prize pool to give out. So let's send back to the analyst or to the
1-2 aja harusnya 1-2-4 tadi.
Before we announce our MVP and the special announcement about 2024 competition season. แน่นอนค่ะเดี๋ยวเราจะมีการมอบรางวัล MVP ด้วยแล้วก็ที่สำคัญเลยกับของรางวัลเยอะแยะมากมายด้านบนเวทีนะคะแต่ว่าตอนนี้ค่ะเดี๋ยวเราไปดู leaderboard กันก่อนนะคะว่าเป็นอย่างไรกันบ้างแล้วก็รวมถึงจะมีการประกาศนะคะกับการแข่งขันในปี 2024 ด้วยนะคะว่าฤดูกาลจะเป็นอย่างไรกันบ้างแต่ว่าในช่วงนี้กลับไปเจอกับ analyst ของเรากันเลยดีกว่าค่ะ
Kas. Ngomong-ngomong PCS 2 set ini bisa dijual ya, Bit ya?
PCS 2 set yang mana?
Iya. Yang ada di workshop spesial crafting. Tradable kalau nggak salah ada PCS 2.
Congratulations to Donowa Esports, the champions of PGC 2023 and well deserved. Soul, a hero in this building, fans who love this team so much. He had a journey, he was an IGL, he stopped IGLing because he said I need to have fun in order for us to win. He had fun here, he played well, they went the distance. Let's take a look
mahal lagi tuh,
at the leaderboard. That was
256.000 satu box.
This has been a journey for this team.
Kalau lu yang satu boxnya ya,
nggak bisa, udah kebuka langsung.
Oh, kebuka langsung. Ya, jaketnya 4.000, celananya 1.000, sepatu 2.000, helm 10.000. Oh, mahal di mini toh, mini, car, G36.
Mininya nggak ada anjing. Berilnya berapa?
Nggak ada beril.
Lah beril PC2-nya nggak, PC2-nya nggak ada.
Nggak ada. 17 tried so hard, but in the end, it was second place for them. Twisted Minds, a noble 3, but once again, settling for less than first. It was a crazy end game. The race for 3. Donowa did what they had to. They third party when they needed to. They stayed up when
Caranya
they had
gimana
to.
gue beli biar nggak langsung kebuka ya?
What a team with passion, with a heart for the game, and with a fan base behind them who loves them no matter what, can truly do. This is their first as a group major international win, and what a time to get it. For the last time on the desk, my name is Toppies.
Seru banget,
This is Avenger. It has been our pleasure to be here with you at PGC 2023, and more so a pleasure to watch Donowa powerhouse this final lobby.
Yeah, when they set out for 2023,
emblem market welcome tuh maksudnya.
This
Oh,
insane
emblemnya doang.
powerhouse of a team, and this was their goal. It was to win PGC, and now they've done it.
They've done it. They've set the stage for next year, and in a second we're going to go back to the stage to get our MVP as well as maybe hear more about next year. Congratulations, Donowa. We could not be more proud of you.
Yang paling mahal tuh itu, Cok. SLR PCS 3 tuh.
เราก็ได้ฟังอนาลิซิสของเราเป็นที่เรียบร้อยแล้วเราก็ได้ทราบแล้วนะคะว่าใครที่เป็นแชมเปี้ยนของการแข่งขันนะคะกับ PGC 2023นั่นเองค่ะตอนนี้งานหนูนะคะว่าเราจะมีการมอบรางวัลด้านบนเวทีแล้วก็เดี๋ยวเราจะได้มาร่วมแสดงความยินดีด้วยแต่ว่าก่อนอื่นเลยค่ะเราก็มีแขกคนพิเศษของเรานะคะที่จะได้ขึ้นมากล่าวด้านบนเวทีแล้วก็จะได้บอกถึงฤดูกาลแข่งขันในปี 2024 ด้วยนั่นเองค่ะ so welcome back to the stage ladies and gentlemen so right here on PGC 2023 Grand Finals we already know that who is the champion of the game so right
roadmapnya PUBG
one of the special guests that will announce
lihat turnamen tahun depan
on the stage so ladies and gentlemen please give a big round of applause welcome the Vice President and Head of Esports from Crafton Mr. Min Ho E woo
Loki has won the tournament previously
privilege
betul nyebutnya. Total dia dapat di PUBG udah 400.000.
Oh Zero makasih udah join membership.
Loki 1 juta 1,1 juta dolar.
Oke guys, aku duluan nih guys ya, terima kasih ya. Ting dong, cabut. Danawa Esport. Thank you abang-abangku yang sudah menonton, kakak-kakak, adik-adik ya. Kita akan online lagi beberapa menit ke depan ya, 5-10 menit ke depan, ditunggu saja. Kita akan prepare game-game ramean, oke? Jadi stay tune. Apa gua pindahin langsung ya? Oke. Kayaknya gue pindahin langsung biar lebih asik nih. Bentar ya, sabar ya. Jadwalkan streaming. Nunggu yang rame-rame. Sabar. Ramean lagi. Ramean lagi. Anjing, ada nadanya tuh. Ramean lagi nih, anjing. Gamenya Evil. Thumbnail nggak perlu ganti. Public jam 22.15. Jerok. Gue pindahin. Sabar, tenang. Sabar. Belum keluar soalnya. Udah keluar nih. Pengalihan, ramen lagi nih. Simpan. Oke guys, saya pindahin ke live schedule yang akan datang. Jadi ditunggu, oke? Sekitar 5 menitan. Ya, terima kasih yang sudah menonton. Kita ketemu lagi di live streaming langsung 5 menit lagi. Bye bye.